Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Royale League Asia, week number 7, day number 2. My name is G-Clef, and tonight we have someone special, Paper Thin. Hello.
G-Clef, my absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. I am really excited for this. I get to cast my favorite mobile game of all time. Love this game. I'm so excited for this. This is such an awesome league we have here on OGN. This Clash Royale Asia League has been so fun to watch. Really exciting. We're in week 7, day 2. I can't wait.
Hey, someone's really hyped. Someone's really exercised. And that's why, because we're only on 12 p.m. right now.
Yeah.
We should be taking all the hot right now. It's so hot out there. And pretty sure the same thing for the Taiwanese, but for all the players who's actually in Taiwan. This will be the final weekend for Korean players to play. So they need to take absolute all the wins. And so far, they've been taking all the wins you'll see on the screen very soon. But right before we had the overview.
Right, so we can look at some of this, right? We've got 3 different regions, Korea, Japan, SEA, that are competing in this tournament. 4 teams from each region. We started on April 27th. Today is June, 9th, 10th?
Yes,
I lost track.
9th.
And we finished on July 14th. The finals are here in Seoul at the OGN E Stadium. And we also have every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can watch us. 7 p.m. on Fridays and Sundays, 12 p.m. on Saturdays. Got to get the coffee for the Saturday broadcast.
Yes. We just woke up a few hours ago. And we're in here at OGN and Conference Week. Week number 7. So after 2 weekends, we'll be on to the playoffs very soon, the postseason. There's the standings, updated standings after last night. We still have, even though Japanese teams played less games, they are on top right now.
Yeah, Japanese teams really making a strong showing here. Game with and Pono Sports really playing well. A game with especially, I've been really enjoying watching them play. I was here at the OGN studio last week watching the matches, in fact, and I was just blown away with how well they're played. They're very polished. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Very interesting team to watch.
Yeah, game with and Ponos, I think they are a few of the best teams right now. Of course, the first team from each region goes straight to the postseason, depending on their result, depending on how strong they are, the numbers. If you are the highest at the number, you will go straight to the finals, and right before that you do have the wild card for tournament as well, and that's going to be except for the first place teams from each region, 4 teams right below them. So it's going to be something like, if Ponos cannot catch up the game with Ponos, maybe Sandbox, maybe Kingdom Dragon X, and maybe the one below AHQ for Southeast Asia.
Yeah, the wild card, it doesn't matter what region you're from, right? It's all just your ranking at the end of the day. Yes, the top 3 teams from each region come out no matter what. No matter what, they could be, they could have a losing record compared to all the other teams, but if they're the top team in that region, they'll still come out. So you still have something to play for here. Even if you're maybe Chaos Theory or OPGG Skeleton, and we were looking at this earlier, they're those 2 teams are very much in a spot where they might not make it through.
Yes, for Chaos Theory, I think a little more likely, because compared to how the Korea standings go for Southeast Asia, I think they have a lot more chance. But OPGG, who is actually playing the first game today, as you see on the screen right in the middle, versus AHQ. But I want to go point fingers at yesterday's match, though.
Right.
Korea took 3-0. Sandbox, Kingdom Dragon X, OG, and Entus. All first 2 games, first 2 matches, Kicks and Chaos Theory. It was dominant 2-0. Loss, of course, for Southeast Asia, but Brand Esports, they were close, but still a win for Korea again.
Yeah, really impressive showing from the Koreans. OPGG, of course, didn't play, so they're our first team today. They're at the bottom of the Korean region. This is a must-win situation for them, and they're going up against AHQ, the top team from this SEA region right now.
This will be really tough if OPGG Skeleton actually drops the match. Maybe impossible, literally impossible for them to go to the postseason. Maybe looking for the next season possibly, but seems unlikely. And they are up against a very strong team, AHQ, the first place from Southeast Asia. So we'll have to see a little bit more. Their 2v2 especially has been struggling really hard. But that's what's happening. That's what has been happening in Asia so far. I know other regions are about to get ready for their season as well.
Yeah.
That's going to be something else that it's exciting. But for now, we are the official best region in the world.
That's right.
Because
No
we're the
one-
only one.
Because we're the only one. Shh, don't tell him. Don't tell him that.
I know. Other regions. There are a lot of regions. I do watch all the other regions as well. Last year especially, and there are lots of great players all over the world, and they're at such young age because they're so young. Like I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah. We have a new player here today,
Oh yes, Lampo.
Lampo.
He's just added to Kick's team, and
Yeah.
he'll be in the new roster, I believe, right in the middle of the season. You can add a player.
Mm.
That's like the maximum you can have. I think maybe for only for this season so far. The information that I got from the production, that's
Right.
as far as we go. But here comes OPGG Skeleton, Jin TV. Usually the 1v1, Richan and Chashu the duo, and Dabong TV not really making his appearance too many times in the actual game. But they have been struggling, the lowest team from the Korean region. And
Despite, even though they have a 3-6 record, I believe, they're they're smiling and
they're
waving
smiling,
at the
but
camera.
it doesn't seem too happy, you know?
Yeah,
Like, not a pleasant smile. It's like the camera's in front, I have to smile, but like look at the result. We are struggling right now.
Man, they're esports players, not commentators. They don't want to look good in front of the camera. They just want to play some games, man. You know, I think it's kind of interesting when I was looking over OPGG Skeleton's stat sheet, the fact that they're even pretty much across the board in their wins and losses, but overall, they're the worst team in Korea. So you would expect them to maybe be like 4-4 or something like that. But they're 3-6, I believe, right now. Correct?
Yep, they have a lot because they have Charshu and also Dabong TV played a few games, but they lost. And sometimes you just have to get ready and pray for the best counter deck against the opponent because you have no idea. Of course, maybe you can have good hints after looking at the band cards of the opponent, especially what are they thinking, what is he trying to do. But sometimes you do have to pray so that you have the best counter deck against your opponent.
Yeah, right. You know, it's more than just a rock, paper, scissors, right? You can't you can't make that analogy here. There's just so many cards in play in Clash Royale these days. You know, we even just got a new card, the Rascals, the other week.
Ooh.
We're on a new patch now. We have some different changes that have been made, some buffs, some nerfs. The Spear Goblins are better, for example. Mega Knight got a little bit of a buff. These kind of things happen. So there's so many different pieces to this puzzle that is Clash Royale, and that's what I find fascinating about it, is how wildly different the decks can be and still work.
And we did talk about all the praise and all that, but a lot of the teams, especially the Korean players and the Japanese player, they have been preparing all the counter decks against a specific player because they did all the preparation. They did all the studies, what kind of playstyle this player likes to do, what kind of cards this guy likes to play. Then if you have all the information, pre-information, unless he does something crazy weird, you're very likely to run into some type of deck that he likes to do. So if you do the study, if you do the analysis, then I think you're good to go. That's kind of like what we had when Korea went to Japan and they were very counter straight away from the deck choices. And kind of like what we saw yesterday, Southeast Asia, maybe they had less information about the Korean teams. And a lot of the times Korean teams, especially the 1v1, they had crazy amount of the counter decks. So oftentimes 1v1 just had 2 zeros.
Yeah, and you can tell when somebody's making an interesting counter when they ban something like Three Musketeers or Elixir Pump, something you don't see normally banned. You know, normally you see a lot of tornado bans, but when you see a targeted ban towards a very unique, specific card, then you know that they've done their homework.
Yeah, like the Rascals that we saw yesterday, or even the Giant.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of hard to just ban the Princes.
Right.
There are 2, or you can kind of sort that out with different cards. Just ban the Giant instead. Maybe even a Golem. We did see some Elixir Collector as well.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you have been seeing some, if they ban the Giant, maybe they'll go for the Golem behind the Double Princes or something like that, and then do the Pump, like you said. So there's this kind of cat and mouse game, right? It's like, oh, and here we're seeing some things going down.
Oh, Expo ban from Jin TB. Shake, let's see if he actually played any Expos, though. I don't think exactly, not too many times, but Giant does seem like the one that Jin TB actually does run a few times.
Yeah.
He was bringing that on the very first game of the patches before.
Yeah, I'm curious about that Expo ban. I don't remember Jake ever using it that I can think of, but maybe Jin TV is afraid of the Expo being a counter to whatever he's thinking about doing.
Only once.
Only one time.
Only one time.
One time.
Shaka did play a lot of 1v1s.
Yeah,
15 games,
yeah,
and only
so-
one. And sniping onto that Expo, maybe an information that the players have on Shiake.
Yeah, maybe they felt like they've seen something in his playstyle where he might opt to use that against Jin TV's deck. So Jin TV thinking, okay, this is the absolute worst card that he could pick against what I want to do.
Yes.
So get rid of it. I don't want it.
And also it hints the opponent at the same time. You do have to think on the opposite side where Expo ban, interesting. But I don't really play Expo. What is he thinking?
Yeah.
Then if we go into Shiake's brain, oh, he must be thinking a lot of the air units, because if I land an Expo and there are lots of air, it goes straight to the tower. There's
Right.
no way of defending it unless he puts a ground unit down or a structure to counter. So
Yeah.
there are lots of, after watching these kind of ban cards, there are lots of hints to it, and you must catch on to it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Are we going to see something like Lava Hound here? Or Balloon, some kind of maybe Lumberjack Balloon kind of thing? Something like that. I'm not exactly sure what his idea is, but that's a really good point. Maybe it'll be air heavy. Maybe even a Lava Loon. That's a very expensive deck. But it has been, used in the past effectively.
Certainly, in 1v1, we even had freeze on top with the balloon. On 1v1, that actually happened. It started with the 2v2, but over time, a lot of the players in the league saying there must be a secret card, a winning card for the game. Not just having a straight deck out of the ladder. Having a few different cards from the ladder just makes the opponent really not being able to defend against it, because you don't expect it to come out.
Right.
And that's what we've been seeing so far, like the balloon, or even sometimes Sparky, or the mini P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah. Well, Mini P.E.K.K.A is so strong these days because it's so good against the beefy units. Like, even against P.E.K.K.A or against especially Golem and Giant.
Yes.
And Royal Giant. Not many. We don't see too much Royal Giant in competitive Clash Royale, but on the ladders you will see it from time to time.
Yeah, you will see it if you go against Paper Thin, because that is his favorite card. I know.
Don't give away my secret
Why
deck.
did you not say it?
Nobody
I was
nobody
waiting for
plays
that.
it. Nobody plays it. Nobody knows. They never expect it. It might involve Sparky and Royal Giant. I don't know.
If you ever encounter Paper Thin, and now you do know what to expect.
Yeah, watch out. If you have Rocket, you're fine. Don't worry. Rocket counters Sparky so hard, it's just brutal. Because you get that elixir trade, right? It's the even elixir trade, plus you usually do damage to the tower because you're dropping Sparky in the back most of the time. Oh, forget it.
And sometimes Electro Wizard just does a good amount at the same time. But
Yeah.
your Royal Giant will be just blocking that bridge from anyone to come across, right?
Well, what happens is actually Sparky pushes Royal Giant.
A little bit, right?
A lot.
Slowly. Oh, a lot.
A lot. And not super fast, but quick.
Yes, and
fast enough that actually you have to position the Royal Giant in a way that you want to block the Sparky to protect it, because otherwise the Sparky will go around it. You want the Sparky to push him. It's kind of weird.
just like how Princess push the Golem all the time in 2v2s.
Yes, exactly. Exactly similar.
But it's not as fast, though, because
No.
Sparky doesn't charge.
No, Sparky
It does
doesn't
charge up, but it doesn't charge like the Princess.
Yeah. It doesn't have a speed charge. It has a different kind of charge, an attack charge. So I'm very curious about this. I'm just really interested about this Expo ban. That's what I'm really kind of like latching onto here. I'm like, all right, what was he thinking about?
Let's see if he actually goes straight up and brings his air deck, or was it a trick? Let's find out in game 1. We do have Jin TV from OPGG Skeleton in the blue bottom. HQ Shiake on top in red. Giant ban. Not too surprising. Seems like we're going to see less Princess in this game.
Okay, so nothing too unusual here. Okay, there's the Valkyrie.
Early summon, though.
An early Valkyrie summon.
Usually used for defensive use. Maybe just not has... He doesn't have his favorite starting it.
Yeah, he's probably trying to cycle to his cards here. You don't really put the Valkyrie out front, even with the minor buff she got. Okay, we're getting a Bowler and a Baby Dragon from Jacquet.
And a Tesla placement.
Oh. Okay.
A little surprising. Maybe he just wanted to go all the way out.
Okay, here comes the minor.
JTV does have the log as well, so he does have some spell. I believe one more spell should just do it. And it is the graveyard from Shiake popping up.
Interesting. Here comes the poison. Okay.
With the minor poison, it's just a solid combo of attack and defense at the same time. So graveyard is basically nullified in this game.
Yep, exactly. So this is almost kind of like a, you don't really want to call it a cycle deck. It's not quite cycling. You're just kind of chipping your opponent down. You're not trying to brute force your opponent or try and win in a single push. You're just trying to play good defense with the Valkyrie and the Tesla and the E-Wiz and do a little chipping damage with the Miner and the Poison and maybe whatever our last card is here.
Basically all the cards you see at the bottom. Well, even Bolo getting single rock damage onto the tower. Pretty nicely done. But all you're seeing, oh, even the tornado that was available. Xiaoke activates the king now.
Ooh, a nice tornado there.
Well, that's pretty hard. Right now, Jin TB, even his poison, which should be the source of damage instead, has to be held for the graveyard every single time. So only source of his damage is Miner, and everything else is basically for defensive use.
Yeah, he's got Miner, Log, and Skeletons as his last card. Okay, so this is going to be very difficult for him. With that tornado there, he's just going to have such a difficult time doing any damage to those Princess Towers. This is going to go long, and it very well could be a tie.
Yeah, it's going to be a very long. And Jin TB finally switches over to Valkyrie as defensive tool against the graveyard, so he can actually use that Miner Poison combo if he wants to go for.
Right, a nice poison here, actually. This makes it really difficult for the E-Wiz, although he changes targets to the Valkyrie. Putting that Valkyrie in front was a great job to protect any more damage from the tower from the baby dragon, killing the E-Wiz and then moving on.
Still,
yeah, this
almost
is
overtime,
crazy.
but still 1500 and 1700 on the tower.
Yeah, this is going to be a long one for sure.
Well, only a log. Maybe Jin TB does not have the best defense against this graveyard, taking somewhat of damage, about 400.
Yeah, he's taking a risk here to try to push forward. He knows he's got to do some damage to this tower. You know, right now, Xiaoke's got just a little bit of an edge on him. So he's got to try to get something through here, and it's going to be really difficult with that bowler. He doesn't have any air units. So the bowler just basically nullifies most of what he's trying to do. And
look at the Valkyrie, barely had to swing on that bowler.
Yep. And Xiaoke can just keep dropping graveyards and poisons, and he's just going to chip him down.
He does have just enough time to actually finish the game here, Xiaoke. Every single time, his poison has been towards the offensive, actually damaging the tower.
Right. Yeah, then that's nice for Xiaoke that he can use it offensively. Here we're seeing Jin TB finally able to use his poison offensively, getting some okay damage there.
So that's why the graveyard is going to pop up right after the poison, even poison from Xiaoke as well. So the Sea Wizard will be going down soon.
Right, it's only going to take about two more
the
poisons.
baby dragon getting a hit.
Oh, now it's one and a barely more than one poison to take down that tower. All he needs is one more hit and a poison and it's done.
It is so close, and all Xiaoke has to defend is through this cycle, and then one more damage source along with the poison, which will be graveyard.
Yep.
In this case, and that should just be game.
There it is. That he can drop the poison and that's game. Xiaoke getting it done. That bowler was huge there.
Because Jin TB, we were kind of expecting lots of air, which we did not see any. And Xiaoke did have some way of defending with the baby dragon, just in case we see something like a minion horde or something.
Right.
But bringing a bowler against a deck that may be air heavy focused, that takes a lot of gut to actually bring it into game one.
Yeah, so maybe Jin TV's thinking was, okay, I'll play the Expo. He'll think I'm going to go air, and then I'm not going to go air. And then Xiaoke is like, he's just trying to bait me into doing something like defending heavy against air, which would have been, you know, worse against his Miner and that kind of thing.
A weird situation for Jin TB where he was trying to bait, and he found himself surprised. I was watching his face the entire time, and the moment he saw the bowler, and every single time the Valkyrie got nowhere close to the tower, he was just lost at that moment. He was saying, what do I do to make my attack? I even activated the King Tower from the tornado. Miner does less than 50% of the damage that he should have been doing.
Right. Yeah, that was very difficult for Jin TV. I think he just was trying to throw Xiaoke off with that ban, and it just didn't work. You know, I like the idea of the deck, you know, that kind of doing the Miner poison kind of thing, but because Xiaoke had that graveyard and the bowler, he had to use the poison defensively. The bowler basically nullifies just about anything he wants to do, you know, with the Valkyrie or anything else coming forward. It just wrecks those units. So he just was pretty heavily countered there.
Yeah, sometimes Miner poison Seems like the solid winning card, very common and competitive because you get extra 2 minutes to finish off, and just sometimes just the poison will actually deal 90% or even 100% of the damage to the tower and take the win just like that if you use the poison as offensive tool. But once you have to deal with the graveyard, you may have to consider using that poison as an offensive tool, because you do want to defend. Sometimes you have the Valkyrie, but when you use everything as your defensive tool,
Right.
Miner is the only source of damage.
Right, exactly. And the miner just isn't going to get it done.
No way. That's why Jin TB tried to shuffle around what do I do. He sometimes sent the Valkyrie as defensive tool. That didn't really work out. Electric Wizard sometimes. That didn't really work out either.
Right. All Jacques had to do was wait for Valkyrie to be somewhere that wasn't near Jin TV's Princess Towers, because he didn't really have much else that could deal with the graveyard except poison, and keeping that poison off of his own towers allowed him to just outlast him, get that chip damage, and end up winning.
That's why Jacques, after looking at all 8 cards, he basically knew that, okay, I got this one because graveyard goes straight to the tower, and I got my poison as well.
Yeah. So let's see what kind of adjustments they're going to make here. This is going to be really interesting. I kind of like that you don't change bans between games. You know, because, like, there's part of me that maybe would want to do that, but...
Well, Jin TB OPGG Skeleton had their timeout. Let's see if he has a better deck against what Jacques will have. Again, Bowler, not the most common card. I think maybe only 3rd or maybe 4th time in this entire season.
Yeah, Jacques just must have felt really comfortable that Jin was going to go ground. I mean, he just, even with that Expo ban, he just felt comfortable. So, you know, maybe just Jin doesn't feel like there's much he could have banned against Jacques that really made much of a difference. Jacques, the strongest player on HQ, probably the strongest player in the SEA region right now.
Yes, for 1v1, I do agree on that, because he does have a pretty good record, and his percentage, 9-6, and with that first game, 10-6 on his 1v1 record by himself.
Right. Yeah, so let's see what we're getting here. They're both just going to wait. Looks like we're going to get a wait until the 1 minute mark. So here we go.
Well, this is the most exciting part. And this is the biggest challenge for the casters. How do we make it exciting for the for the first 2 minutes?
Yeah, the thing that you never see in ladder, right? Because no one sits here and waits this long. Every once in a great while.
Oh, I actually did.
You did.
I actually did. I'm thinking about because I cast so much, watching competitive all the time, and then I dropped down my first unit at the minute mark, which was an Expo.
Oh yeah.
And then I found out the opponent was not there. He actually left the game, and then I pushed all the way right after. I was like, wait, why did I even wait the first 2 minutes for?
You're like, I found somebody who actually watches competitive Clash Royale. Wow, I can finally do this.
I was thinking about all the stuff, like, is it going to be the Golem or a P.E.K.K.A. or a Giant or something like the Double Prince again? Yeah. Like, I was thinking about all these factors, and then the moment I put down the Expo, no response.
No.
Like, oh, okay.
That's so funny. I can't do that. I'm just too impatient. I'm like, I just gotta play.
Because the moment I try to test my opponent if he left or not, because if I throw down something like a princess, I will be losing my elixir right off. Then.
Oh, 2 graveyards?
Maybe the golem in response? No, it is the Valkyrie and the graveyard onto the offense, okay?
Okay, so Jin opting to go for the graveyard this time.
Jacques does have the poison to respond though, so perfect respond. And the golem slowly already approaching to the bridge.
Yep. Okay, he's got the Inferno Dragon, double Inferno Dragon here. Ice Wizard as well, so some strong defense for Jin TV here.
Oh, but Electro Wizard is canceling all the damage from the Inferno.
Oh, and here comes the Dark Knight right behind that Golem. So it looks like a bit of a Prince Golem deck going for Jacques.
What you would expect when you go all the way down, and Golem right next to the bridge spam right there. May just continue, but Inferno Dragon dropped instead of the Electro Wizard.
Yeah, he's got some good counters here. Inferno Dragon can counter Inferno Dragon in this situation. Now, the Golem does get split up here, and it's not going to do a lot of damage. Oh, Tornado.
Making sure the Inferno Dragon does not lock onto the tower and is slowed down. And the Princess Tower will be doing the most damage there.
Right, so Jin TV taking a little bit more damage overall, but not much than Jacques, mostly due to poison. And now, this time, Jin TV counters with a poison of his own as the Ice Wizard pushes up, but gets taken out pretty quickly there.
So far, Jin TV has been massively defending well against these Golems.
Yeah, he really has. He's been doing a really good job defending against these Golems. Even with the 2 counters, I mean, Inferno Dragon and Electro Wizard to counter his Inferno Dragon. He's doing a good job keeping him at bay.
Graveyard isn't even as a defensive 2. He does not have the best cycle, but there's a Dark Prince. Even the Tornado being used and the Log getting that massive synergy.
Yeah, this is a great defense from him. Using that Graveyard defensively, not ideal, but he's preventing much damage from being done. I think one Golem exploded on it and did a little splash damage, and that's about it.
Hey, this may actually be a tie. Even with the Golem onto the other side. Another Graveyard does come for Jin TV, but Poison right on top. Jake was ready for that counter.
Okay, this time Jin TV doing a nice job. Getting a little bit of a push here, getting a little bit of damage. He's ahead just a little bit now, 1,600 damage to 1,900
just
damage.
From the poison, but just from the poison, it may not be enough to finish off the game. Only 140-ish left in this game number 2. And Golem's never really connecting because of the Inferno Dragons and the slow from the Ice Wizard.
Yeah, he just hasn't been able to get... Okay, now he's got the Electro Wiz onto that Inferno Dragon this time, but he counters with the Graveyard. It's going to do a lot of damage. The Tornado, wow, this deck has so much defense in it.
And look at that Tornado and the Log value just doing massive damage to all the ground units at the same time. But this Inferno, okay, does lock onto the Ice Wizard instead, luckily for Jin TV.
Yeah, he's got 2 Ice Wizards there at a time, and then now he's got the Valkyrie. Now he's putting his own Inferno out there to counter the Inferno. Golem dropped again. He's got another Inferno coming up behind, so this is kind of interesting. Jake dropped that Inferno way in the back while these things were going on. He's trying to time this push to get everything to help make this Golem get through, but once again...
this one actually
this one's come through.
Close to the tower, but another Tornado from Jin TV.
These are some clutch Tornadoes he's coming up with, but the Dark Prince is behind us. This is a huge push for Jake.
Log should be ready, and exactly at the time Shield is gone, Valkyrie actually goes down. So let's see how far this Dark Prince can all go. Not even a single touch onto the tower.
It's so close.
Was close. Jake just pushing all the time. Jin TV, he does not even have time for his own attack. Only 25 seconds left on the clock.
No, he's just got to defend and play for the tie here.
This Golem just will just get destroyed from the Inferno. Actually, drags it out with the Tornado.
Yeah, he's just got to buy as much time as he can here. There's only 10 seconds left. It's almost over. There's no way that he could do enough damage. Really nice defense by Jin TV here.
Great source of defense with all the spells. So the moment he couldn't really win, his winning condition was very low, and Graveyard was countered by the poison once again in this game. So he was all going out all the way defensive. If I defend this with all I have, I can make it at least as a draw.
Right. Sometimes you just got to recognize as a player that you can't win a game, and your best hope is to have a draw, right? When you think about Clash Royale, like let's say you're playing, you think about it in 10-game sets when you play, right? You're probably going to win 3 just by the fact that your deck counters there, assuming you've built like a balanced deck. You're going to lose 3 just because somebody else's deck counters yours. You should tie 3 just because of the balance of the game. It's that one game, that 10th game, that kind of makes or breaks you as a competitive player. You have to be able to overcome, make the minor differences, play your deck slightly better than the other person to win those games that are maybe should be ties, but you can get ahead.
That's the theory. If you draw all the time, then you will never go down, at least.
That's true.
It's like having best goalie in the world. If the ball can never go past that line,
yeah,
you will never lose. You will always draw.
Right, that's true.
And the only other chance that there are, it's actually scoring your own goal and winning. So it's kind of like that how you actually go into the draw, and Jin TV just understanding the game, just going with so much ladder, and because we have 2 extra minutes in competitive, it's not too often that we do see a draw. Actually, only the 3rd or the 4th draw the entire season.
Yeah, there haven't been many. That was a really interesting game. I mean, especially props to Jin TV for realizing it, that his win condition wasn't going to happen. Yeah. So it's time to just play defense and prevent Jake from beating me.
Yeah, even after losing the first set, for the very first game, I mean, if he was going to lose one more game, he was going to drop out the entire set.
Right.
It really takes practice and experience of how to play Clash Royale.
Right, exactly correct. Really nice. Jake, to his credit, did a good job. He almost had that one push to get through. He had a Mega Minion, a Dark Knight, and behind the Golem, as well as an Inferno Dragon. And it looked like that might actually get through, but those Graveyards and Valkyries, he just kept popping down. Jin TV just kept popping them down in front, and that prevented that huge wave from getting through. Ice Wiz as well to slow the whole thing down.
Whenever the Golem got close to the tower, the Tornado always dragging them back, making sure the Golem which does tons of damage to the tower. It's slow, but once it stays to the tower, it will do tons of damage. And may not be the final game here, as we had a draw in game 2. To game 3.
Let's see if they're both going to wait, or if somebody opts to drop something. Maybe they have something in their hand they don't like.
Oh, Jin TV does also play some beatdown. He's one of the Korean players that actually does like to play some golem decks as well.
So he plays golem and that kind of thing. Does he ever bust out like a P.E.K.K.A. or anything like that?
He used to in 2v2 a few times,
Okay.
but not too many in 1v1.
Not in 1v1.
We do have some different metas where Southeast Asia has a lot more beatdown compared to, and Korea is all about chip damage and the poison most likely. But it has been switching, especially with ever since the Rascals came into the arena.
Well, that's such an interesting card. It's almost like a weird like Goblin Gang, except it has.
It's like a knight plus archers built into one.
Yeah, that's pretty close to what it is. I think the Rascal Boy has just a little bit less health than the knight and does just a little bit less damage, and the archers have less health than the regular archers because they can be taken out by log, whereas the regular archers cannot. I really like the card. I've been trying to work it into my my Royal Giant Sparky deck. That's super top secret here, but I can't quite fit it in. It just is so expensive.
It is expensive. 5 elixirs, of course. You can actually split the two. You can split a girl off to the other lane and just have an ice golem and make it into kind of both attacks at the same time. That's what we've been seeing from lots of the players, and some of them actually counters pretty well, because once you bait out the log, and you can only stop one lane at the time.
Right. There's the zap. Jacque drops some archers.
See,
And
Jin
now
TV?
there you go, you called it. We've got a golem from Jin TV here.
And right off, great response from Jin TV, having the poison. He's taking care of all the skeletons.
There's that bowler again from Jacque, the second time we've seen it from him in this match. And there's the Mega Minion to try to counter that bowler. Iwa's coming down as well. And there's the Night Witch. Ooh. So okay.
Slow Prince. Oh, but the poison and the bowler actually pushing them back, doing massive damage.
Yeah, he's going to get a little tower damage here. He's dropping that Lumberjack very late to run in there.
Just as a cycle, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like it's just as a cycle. Now he's got to use his own archers. And it looks like, no, that's not his tornado. That's Jacque's tornado. Interesting. Jacque getting some good damage onto that left side tower, 1600.
Another Lumberjack just coming in straight in for Jin TV. And he's actually landing the damage. Okay. Inferno Dragon does go down with the E-Wizard.
Yeah, he was saving that Ewiz for that Inferno Dragon. Ewiz does some decent damage to the tower if you let him go. He just took another about 250 damage from that Ewiz.
Yeah, right before the Graveyard plus Archer did about 700 damage also with the poison. That should be continuing, but the bowler is doing so well with this poison on the ground.
Right, okay, here comes another tornado to prevent that Inferno Dragon from locking onto the bowler right away. Wow, really nice.
Getting some massive synergy. Shiake just continuing that momentum, as only the gold mice do lack of damage, less than 100 each time.
Yeah, they don't hit very hard once you get down to those two little ones, but having two of them there at the same time can chip stuff down pretty quick. Now, Lumberjack's a pretty decent counter to Graveyard, actually.
But look at that damage, about 300 more from Shiake with the Graveyard and the poison combo.
Right, this time it looks like Jacque kind of stole a little bit of Jin TV's playbook here, taking that Graveyard this time, but a little bit of a different wrinkle in it. He's got Bowler instead, which is really making it difficult for Jin TV to push through here.
Even the bats connecting few shots, it's got to be painful. Because Jin TV also changed his lane to the left side as soon as his tower on the left was getting massive damage.
Yeah,
so catching every unit.
He's got the poison in there. Okay, so this is a nice little push here. The Inferno Dragon's still up. There's the Ewiz. The Lumberjack's going to get on that Ewiz as well as the Mega Minion. This could be disaster.
Rage onto the bowler 4 now, but the Inferno Dragon very healthy, locks onto the tower. That's going to be game. JTB bringing it back and tying it 1-1.
Wow, a really nice push there at the end. He finally got that Lumberjack to connect with the Golem and the other units. That's kind of the whole point of that deck, right? You got to have that Lumberjack Rage to really get that final push and take that tower. So, we go to a game 4?
We are. We have to get one down. And a timeout, of course, has to be called.
Exciting stuff, though.
Uh-huh.
Game 4. I'm really excited to see this. So that time we saw Jin TV do something that you said he's more used to doing, maybe
Yes.
the beatdown kind of deck. And we saw it worked a little better for him that time.
Yeah, one of the most common Golem Night Witch with the Lumberjack combo, which we even have with the challenge right now, one of the decks that you get randomly. That's the combo, but the final moment, maybe Shake thought Electro Wizard was enough, but Lumberjack is so quick, he just dove in and got caught by the electricity along with the Mega Minion. So those two actually blocked the damage that was supposed to go into Inferno Dragon and stop that massive single target damage.
Right, exactly. And Jin TV, I think he kind of waited for that moment. He was kind of teasing him with the Lumberjack on the side just to cycle cards to get to the right. You know, he waited for the right combo of things to happen. And that Lumberjack does so much damage so quickly. And the Lumberjack, people don't realize, is actually a pretty good counter to Graveyard. It mows through those goblins, skeletons really fast. Can you imagine that? A Goblin Graveyard?
Goblin
Graveyard.
We do have the Electro Dragon.
The Electro Dragon.
Electro
yes.
Dragon coming in to see a Clash of Clans. Maybe it's coming to Clash Royale as
no
well.
more electricity cards. It wrecks my
very
Sparky,
strong.
man. No more.
It seemed very, very strong from what I saw from the videos from the official Clash of Clans channel, of course.
It looks good. Yeah, I feel like every card that makes it into Clash of Clans is probably destined for Clash Royale.
I know. It's
in
the
some
moment. So the
format.
moment I saw the Electro Dragon, and I thought, this is going to be a super strong card in Clash Royale. I'm excited already.
No, it's a really cool card. I mean, I might end up using it instead of Electro Wiz in some of my decks. But yeah, as a Sparky player, I'm not thrilled to see it.
If it stuns, though. I don't think it stuns.
It'll be more like the
I don't think it
Tesla.
should stun. It's from what I know from Clash of Clans. It does like chain lightning. It does. It hits multiple targets if it's close enough.
Oh,
to
so
the
it
first
doesn't
target.
stun. Okay.
And then when it dies, it actually does something like a lightning spell.
Oh, really?
So maybe it doesn't stun.
Okay. If it doesn't stun, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Whatever.
Because Tesla
No
does
more
a lot
stuns.
Tesla does a lot of damage, but
Right.
it doesn't stun.
Right.
That's like the only electric-related unit that doesn't stun, right?
Yeah, I
Yes.
believe so. Well, here we go. Game 4. The final deciding match between Jin TV and Jake.
Jin TV's Golem worked so much better.
Yeah.
And Shake's Golem has been put down, stopped by Jin TV all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see double beatdown decks here,
Mm-hmm.
especially from Jin TV. I mean, Jin TV, I think he's just got to go with what works, right? Some kind of beatdown deck.
I think that's the way to have this matchup just settled. Even Golem against Golem, let's see who plays it better.
That would
Who
be really
cycles
interesting.
better. I think that may be, as we wait for the minute mark, I think that may be what we have between these two players.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I mean, they're both waiting. Okay, he drops the Ice Golem, maybe just to cycle.
Oh, the Lava Hound. This is the moment what we've been waiting for, Expo Ban.
Yeah, exactly correct. We were expecting to see air a little earlier maybe, but saving it for the last possible moment here.
Archer Ice Golem may just be, with the Baby Dragon, maybe something else.
Okay, so the Lava Hound's going to do just a little bit of damage to the tower here. It's going to get 1 or 2 breaths, 1 breath in. Little bit of damage coming from the Hellions. Inferno Dragon, in the meantime, taking down the bowler at least. So let's see what his answer is here. Some archers of his own and a Mega Minion.
But those stand straight to all the damage from Electro Wizard and the archers.
Okay, okay. So a nice little exchange here for Jin TV, just doing a little bit more damage than Jake.
Shake goes back to his game 1 deck, which is Graveyard. And Poison, Jin TV was expecting that after seeing all the cards.
Right, I like Jin TV's deck better this time against this bowler Graveyard deck that Jake is pulling out. It's much more balanced. The fact that he has that air unit is a huge change. A good job by Jin TV to recognize that Jake was really latching onto this bowler.
Yeah, Bowler not getting that much source of damage as well. He can only counter against the Lumberjack a little, maybe archers. But does have the Inferno Dragon as well.
Right, you can just drop that Lumberjack right on top of the bowler as we see there.
Yes.
And it just wrecks him. It's just, the Lumberjack is so good against the beef units. The DPS is so
Oh, the
high.
balloon!
Oh, the
with
balloon!
The rage. Right when the Lumberjack dies.
Here it
going
is, the
straight.
lava loon.
Oh, getting pulled by the tornado, but still pretty healthy.
Oh, it's going to get at least 1 hit in here, I think. Just
Goes
one,
one.
maybe 2. Okay, the Baby Dragon got distracted. Okay, it just gets taken down. Wow. Nice push there. 2 Baby Dragons to deal with. The Inferno should be able to take out this other one.
Lumberjack comes down a second too late. Skeleton actually doing some amount of damage to the tower as well as a poison from Shake.
Yeah, so, okay, he gets a little bit damage back there, but overall, Jin TV winning in that trade. He's up just a little bit in Elixir, I think, overall. He's a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, once the Lava Hound goes all the way after his Jin TV's own defense, maybe he can connect, but the bowler is connecting few shots.
Right, he's got to drop the graveyard here to force that poison out or something else, but, okay, his own offensive poison from Jake.
Skeleton is doing way too much damage right now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I thought Jin TV was going to drop his own poison to defend that, but he took a lot of damage.
Putting everything down onto this attack. This attack where he's going to lose if it doesn't connect. Balloon, pretty healthy, going straight in. The tornado to drag him down, but the rage is here.
Here comes the rage. It's going to get at least one hit, and that's it. Jin TV takes the deciding match.
Jin TV made the crisp decision. I will not waste any elixir against this graveyard, and I will have the maximum push because it seems like this graveyard is not going to kill me. Next, maybe the poison will, but it takes a long time. As long as I focus on my next attack with the Balloon, Lava Hound is already approaching. And that's the kind of competitive decision that we need, and Jin TV just finally bringing it back after losing the very first game. What a player here.
Yeah, really, really good job by him to stay composed, keep it together. He lost the first game, tied the second game, and then won the last 2. So a complete turnaround. The absolute best situation, or when you lose the first game and you tie the second game, that's pretty impressive to come back and win the next 2. And his composure there at the end, like you talked about it, his decision making there was really impressive. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe that he didn't drop his own poison to defend might be disastrous for him.
Yeah, me too. I was also thinking he's taking way too much damage, and poison plus something else is going to finish off. We only had like 30 seconds in the overtime also.
Right.
But Jin TV, he was calculating every single thing. I need more elixirs. I need to put massive value so my balloon stays alive.
Right.
And we'll take a look at the replay. I wish we get to take an entire replay of the final game.
Right. Big match for OPGG Skeleton as well. And here we see the game 2 where we had the tie. This really interesting matchup with the beatdown deck versus this another Skeleton poison deck. We're seeing that a lot between both of these players today, really liking to use that Skeleton poison. Poison in every match and every deck. Obviously, such a strong card.
And we also see lots of logs as well because of the Rascal's possibility of that card coming out. And in this case for Jin TV, Tornado with log, just grabbing down everything on in the ground except for the Inferno Dragon.
Right.
Stopped him massively with the defense all the time.
Exactly. And here we're seeing this push where he finally gets the Lumberjack to kind of come through as well here. And that's what really made the difference. The Mega Minion coming up behind it as well. But having that Lumberjack in there, because watch this. Even though he gets the E-Wiz down, the Lumberjack is able to get a hit on the E-Wiz, drop the Rage, and that's what allowed all of this damage to come through for Jin TV.
Yeah, the Electro Wizard does not connect to the Inferno Dragon, just deleting that bowler, and the tower was right next to one to go, and I was focusing on the fourth game. The fourth game, the balloon.
This
connects,
is so crazy.
And that's game over.
Yeah, that was really cool. We predicted it, right? We talked about that early on, where we're like, he's got to go air, right? He banned Expo. And I was like, well, maybe Lava Loon? We haven't,
That's what you expect for the very first game, but he was hiding that. He was holding on to that secret strategy until the very end.
Yeah.
Was this all planned out by Jin TV?
What
a crazy player!
It was his goal to lose the first game.
To tie the second one and then bring it back with third game and fourth game? I don't think so, but if he did, props to him.
Well, he did, at least in the last game,
yes,
predict what Jake was going to do. He did that bowler graveyard deck again, and he knew that he could counter it by playing air. So a nice job by him overall.
They will lead with the first set. OPGG Skeleton, all they have to do is take this 2v2 as well, as we do have some PowerPoint blank out with. We do have the 2v2 with Uichan and Chashu.
Uichan and Chasu, yep.
They are the most paired up duo, I would say, other than Uichan and Sungwon. That has been the duo sometimes, but let's look at the results. So most common pair, we do have lots of golems from these two, and sometimes the thing is for these two players is to have the Lava Hound instead of the golem. They have double Lava Hound, just placing it right up front to bridge, and this bridge spam with the Lumberjack.
Right. Right, a really powerful combo there. Lumberjack is great with some of those really expensive, heavy units that you drop at the end, right? The Golem, the Lava Hound, even kind of like a little bit of the Giant sometimes. It can work well with that.
Yes.
So that's the synergy that you want to bring. And the Balloon. Oh my gosh, the Balloon and Lumberjack like gives me nightmares, man. That just like when I lose to that, I'm just like flip my phone and walk away for a little while because I'm like, well, there it was. I got baited into that.
And then you get a notification saying you forgot to unlock the chest, and then you start playing again.
Then I'm right back.
Yes. And we do have the 2v1, the duo from AHQ as well. Seems like it's Xiao Yao and Jerry Sung. Maybe having some headset issue at the moment, talking to the referee. But we do have the ban cards, Rocket and the Poison. Oh man, we do have the Tornado available.
Oh wow. So, we probably won't see any Hogs. Maybe this is kind of a way that maybe we won't see a lot of Miners. Usually we're seeing a lot of Miner in 2v2, so we might not see Miner here, which is interesting.
We may just see lots and lots of Giant Skeletons. With the Tornado, that has been the massive use of their defense. When the Tornado was available, and that was back in the week where Southeast Asia team actually came to Korea to play. Whenever Tornado was available, they had the Giant Skeletons to defend against the Golems. Even some clones onto those Giant Skeletons as well.
So Rocket is banned. Poison is banned. So we're definitely going to see, well, not definitely, but likely to see some Fireballs. I would bring out Sparky here. I'm just saying. When Rocket is
not
banned,
a bad choice, yes.
When Rocket is banned, Sparky can be quite powerful.
And with the buff onto the Wizard as well, Tornado with the Wizard actually does work quite well in the 2v2.
Yeah.
And a little less of a cost. Also, maybe that could be... And see, we actually switched over to Chashu and only one card difference. Switched over to Dark Prince. Everything else stays the same. See, that's why I was predicting Lava Hounds.
Yeah.
They actually play lots of air units just to make sure, but that was with the Miner though.
Right.
The Tornado in this game may not be the same case.
And they banned Rocket. With the cards they're usually playing, Rocket really doesn't affect that deck too much. You're not going to Rocket the Dark Prince. It doesn't kill it. It just hits the shield, right? You're not going to Rocket a Mega Minion. That's a lot of lost value there. You don't usually want to Rocket an Inferno Dragon unless you're desperate. So I'm curious to see what they're thinking. Why ban the Rocket?
Ooh, they're revealing all their strategy. I can see the back of your paper.
We can read that.
Oh, Giant Skeleton, Inferno Dragon. What else?
What? How can you see that? You have like eyes. Oh, you have glasses. Oh yes. Okay. You cheating. You're cheating.
Log Fireball.
G-Clef, you're cheating.
Electro Wizard Tombstone. I can read everything. But
like, hold on, let me get my secret glasses. G-Clef.
The real question is, what's in the front page?
Yeah. Maybe that is the front page.
Maybe that is the front page.
Maybe it is.
No,
I don't think so.
But finally, so they get exactly 3 minutes. They don't even get to touch their device, just to have fair environment for all teams.
Yeah, I really like that. It's really well run. Everything's really like clean in this Clash Royale League. Everything's very nicely set up. I love the sets too. The kind of the bright colored, the kind of like red, white, and blue theme. Obviously, not just because I'm American, but the color scheme is quite nice, and it's very vibrant, and all the sets. I really liked all the sets, especially here at OGN. I really like the set.
Yeah, it's always blue and red against the ones at the bottom and on the top, and you always play out the bottom for some reason.
Yeah. Why is that? I want to play on the top sometimes. Supercell, come on.
I don't actually know, but I guess it's better to actually push from the bottom all the way to the top.
Right. These guys are after my own heart here, using the Royal Giant.
Oh yes, we're actually using that Royal Giant, which... Let's see if they actually won with that deck. Can't really remember exactly what happened.
I believe they won with it 2 weeks ago on week 5. I remember watching a game.
Okay.
And I believe they did.
Because you remember everything about the Royal Giant.
Yeah. I know everything. Every time I see Royal Giant.
You are the person to talk to.
Yes. This is the card I know the most about in this game. It is the card that I've absolutely used the most. It's interesting with Tornado available. Royal Giant is actually okay, but what you can do is you can pull the Royal Giant into like
the range of the princess.
Yeah, yeah. And not only that, like, you can pull it into, like, other damage dealers, or you can pull it out of range if you want to buy time. Because if you've got, say, like a Lumberjack or a Mini P.E.K.K.A. or something on the Royal Giant beaten on it, and you don't want to take any more chipping damage, you just tornado it back. And basically you used, 4 Elixir and 3 for the Tornado versus 6 for the Royal Giant.
Yes.
So the Elixir disadvantage isn't that big of a deal, considering you're not going to lose that much tower damage.
Oh yes, as long as you can pull that out of the way, make sure that Royal Giant does not do straight shots to the tower. The range is actually super long.
It's insane.
It's, I believe, the same with the Princess.
It's a little shorter.
Little shorter?
Just a little shorter. The Princess Tower can hit the Royal Giant, but it's just at the very edge of the Princess Tower's range.
Maybe by like 0.5 range difference.
Something like that, yeah. But Royal Giant can outrange an Inferno Tower, the Bomb Tower, and almost any tower. The only thing that gets it is the Tesla and Expo.
Okay.
Yeah. The Tesla, because it's underground, if the Tesla is above ground and it gets shot, but it's just going to go underground again. So Tesla's a great counter to Royal Giant as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, no. What am I doing? I'm ruining my ladder chances on air. This is a meltdown.
Meltdown for you, but a better chance for me next time when I face you, Paper Thin. Okay, that's only 1v1 though.
Yeah.
2v2. There are lots of other factors.
Right.
Maybe double the tornado. That's what we've been seeing so far.
Yep.
Just 2 seconds plus 2 seconds is 4 seconds of that drag. Sometimes it changes everything because it makes the unit goes to the opposite side.
Right.
And you can't really pair up your attack. You think like you put everything on behind the tower, and then one that you put in the center just goes to the other lane because of the tornado. That happened, which actually created big of a difference that brought the lose to the team.
Right, exactly. And if you get your King Towers activated, right, and they start shooting stuff, then the tornado, that's usually what it's kind of there for, right? And on top of that, then you can drag it to the middle like you were talking about. Then your King Tower starts shooting at whatever you've dragged in there as well. It's crazy. Okay, wow, a Barb Hut here. And a Furnace.
Maybe just the massive...
Okay, so this is why they banned Rocket. They don't want that Barb Hut to get rocketed.
And also the poison is banned as well. So wherever they place it near the tower, it can't really be damaged by the poison, because poison, once it... See, look at that. If poison was right in the middle, it could actually do the damage to the Furnace, the Goblin, and the tower together.
Right, but if AHQ has the tornado here and they time it right, it's going to be really difficult for a lot of damage to get through with all these building cards.
Yes, let's see how OPGG follows up with the attack and how AHQ defends it. So they go to the off lane, to the left side instead. Yeah,
they've got the Prince Golem here we see on the left side. They're pushing in. You got the Dark Knight defending on the right.
The Spear Goblin's actually catching a lot of the shots, 600 damage.
Yeah, the Spear Goblins, right? They got the buff in the most recent patch, so they're going to be doing even more damage. Ooh, nice lightning.
Lightning taking out all the ground units. Executioner doing not as much as it should. Even the Rage drops right on top of the Prince. Oh, the pull from the tornado cancels the charge. That was close.
Wow, that was a really nice tornado. Just bought them enough time to not take any damage. So advantage OPGG right now. They're up just a little bit. They managed to get some decent damage from those goblins onto that right side hut because they pushed all that elixir into the other lane.
Yes. So if they continue with the summon deck here, let's see how far they can actually go in. The Ice Wizard does 200 damage, but not too much.
This Mega Minion is absolutely wrecking these Barbarians as they try to come out of that hut.
So once again, HQ is going to try the Golem push. Oh, double Graveyard.
What? Oh my gosh. Okay, so they have to drop a Prince.
Oh, freeze! Freeze is a massive value, but not really catching onto the tower itself. Actually did so much damage onto the Prince, but now down to 355, 356.
And that's so disastrous for HQ. They had to drop a Prince to try to counter double Graveyard. You don't want the Prince anywhere near a Graveyard. They do okay, but it's not even close to the optimal counter.
The Executioner with the Tornado and the Fireball. A massive defense from OPGG, and the Golem breaks down already.
Yeah, this is great play by them to defend against this. That other tower is already down to 200. Okay, the lightning comes down. They've got a little bit of damage.
Even the charge from the Dark Prince doing this,
but this is just
damage.
They're just going to fireball. They're just going to double fireball.
And one more damage source. That's all they need. And
there it
just
is.
in time.
That double graveyard freeze was crazy. Loved that.
I did try to go graveyard freeze, and actually it doesn't really help too much unless you have double graveyard. And
Yeah.
they actually did have double graveyard with the freeze, and that was something that we did not see too many in 2v2s. Surely HQ was caught off guard with just summoning the Prince. Both Princes, Prince and the Dark Prince. Maybe that's just enough against all the skeletons.
Right. And usually when I see building decks like that have like the Barb Hut, the Goblin Hut, the Furnace, and usually I see like the teams when I play 2v2 like double stack those. They'll have like 2 Barb Huts, 2 Goblin Huts, 2 Graveyards, you know, and that's pretty much just what they're going all in on. But OPGG threw a little bit of a wrench into this, right? They waited and then they did a double Graveyard Frost out of nowhere. Really like that play from them.
That was the winning condition for OPGG. It worked once. I tried with the random friend on 2v2 sometimes, and oftentimes it actually doesn't work because there are lots of spells.
Yeah.
Lots of spells that can actually cancel it, like the poison and the tornado even used against the graveyard sometimes does great amount of damage to the skeletons, but poison was banned. That was the important part, and OPGG just being ready for what they are banned with and using the opponent's ban as well, Rocket. And poison was banned from AHQ.
Yeah, and if poison's available, you just really can't do double Graveyard Frost.
Yeah, you would be losing 10 elixirs to 4.
Right. Right. There's no reason to do that. So it's really hard to make it work on the ladder because you can't ban cards, right? That would be pretty fun. Why can't we ban cards on the ladder? See, my mind, like when I watch competitive PUBG, I'm just like, I want this.
Maybe it's going
life.
to come in soon. And we are ready, though, in the game, too. If OPGG wins this one, they will finish off the entire match. See if they can bring it to themselves or AHQ. They are the strongest team in Southeast Asia currently.
But OPGG against the ropes, fighting for their lives, seeing if they could win a game and still keep that hope alive that even though it's unlikely, it's still mathematically possible they could make it to the playoffs. Oh, a miner here. Interesting. Are we going to see a tornado?
About a perfect placement, so it's very far away from that tornado spot.
Yep.
Just to make sure if there's a tornado on the... Just checking out with that miner if that tornado is available. It seems maybe unlikely. And it seems like AHQ is the one that holds the tornado in with the giant skeletons.
Yeah, and we're seeing this combo from AHQ that I like to use with tornado, giant skeleton and executioner. You can really make a lot of elixir advantage happen if you can tornado properly with these two.
Just making sure the giant skeleton, even the Rascal is being dropped down.
Yeah, Rascal's a decent counter to the Prince. That's why I've been wanting to work them into my deck because I've been seeing a lot of double Prince on the ladder.
Just making sure with the Dark Prince, dragging the giant skeleton back enough so the explosion damage does not get caught by the tower.
Yeah, that explosion damage is so insane. Almost 1,000 damage coming out of that.
Did it connect to the golem?
I think it just maybe did not. I think it just missed.
Just missed, or even with or without it, did not connect to the tower.
Right. Look at all these executioners.
Triple executioner. Oh, two brought down by the lightning. Though.
Oh, this is a problem. Okay, double zaps. A fireball comes down. This is a problem for OPGG.
This miner doing too much damage.
No, that's just way too much.
And even with the second fireball, they are losing the elixir so badly right now.
I don't think OPGG has a tornado. I haven't seen it.
No. Maybe they do with the wizard that I just saw. Maybe they're just holding in.
Did I miss it? Yeah. Okay, so they're trying this, you know, double Prince Golem deck that we're seeing a lot these days.
Look at that, but guards, perfect way to defend, and the tower goes down with the fireball.
Yep, the guard's great. I love the guards. One of those units that is really kind of underappreciated in Clash Royale. A lot of people don't realize how powerful that unit is because you can't just use a spell on it. You have to have something else if you want to spell it.
But the massive push onto the right side, the lightning.
Okay.
Ooh, does not bring down the Infernal Dragon.
Oh, but that giant skeleton comes down just in time.
But now it will connect.
Oh, the tornado.
Explosion.
It only needs one more.
Gets the charge and gets the tower back to themselves. So,
wow.
OPGG in the lead actually right now.
Just barely. Nice job by them to split push there and get that Princess Tower. Meanwhile, another miner comes down. but we've got a Wizard behind it. Wizard, of course, getting buffed a little bit in the most recent patch as well. Double Executioner here again. Ooh, the Rascals come down just in time to prevent that lightning from taking down that other Executioner.
Fireball, massive spells used by both teams, even the Lumberjack. And then the Rage before the Lumberjack, another Rage right on top in front of the Dragon. Not really getting too much value right now with the Rage. Seems like OPGG, they just wanted to cycle a little bit, but that's the time for AHQ to drop in everything.
Okay, great graveyard placement there. They got to keep that Giant Skeleton away from their tower. The Giant Skeleton gets close. Nope, he's down. Okay, but a Miner.
Still doing top. A lot of damage.
Oh,
down
Prince.
to 7.
Prince is coming in. Okay, they got another Executioner there.
This is intense. It's
wow.
Spamming down everything for the past 20 seconds, but double Golem dropped right in.
Oh, here come the Rascals. Are they going to get a little bit of a hit in? Okay, he gets one swipe in. A little bit of a misplay there using the log with
Tornado
the Dark
connects,
Prince.
but Golems are way too strong and doesn't catch one in that Tornado.
That
Fireball.
should be it. One more Fireball. Yep.
Is game, and OPGG Skeleton finally, they take a match win. And it's against the strongest team from Southeast Asia. AHQ will drop their match this weekend.
Yeah, that deck gets so powerful into that double elixir time. Having those double princes are double prince is so hard to deal with. Now, they did have Rascals early on to deal with it, but as we went on, they just had so many golems and so many other things that the Rascals just couldn't keep up. And the log as well to deal with the Rascal with the archers behind it.
There were way too many spells. I mean, the Rascal boy, of course, can maybe survive a little.
Right.
But the girls were just, right after they were put down, they were saying, woohoo, we're gone. I mean, anything log, fireball.
Yeah.
Just except for the Zab, everything just takes them down. And
right.
They had everything else except for the poison and the rocket. But the amount of rage that we saw from OPGG Skeleton was insane.
So much rage coming down. They love those Lumberjacks, and I don't blame them. Lumberjacks are fantastic if you can use them properly. We saw AHQ using a little bit of Lumberjackage as well there. So it looks like Jin TV kind of turned the tables in that second game, right? They played a similar deck to what AHQ played the first time. But I loved this first deck they played. I thought this was super creative. That Frost, just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, sometimes you don't expect something like this. Has been a strategy for 2v2. I love 2v2 so much. I play a lot. Especially when I do not want to drop my trophy from 1v1. I'm being honest.
You got the ladder anxiety?
I'm being honest though. But when I hit my highest trophy, I would be thinking, do I? No, let's switch to 2v2.
Yeah. Yeah, there's sometimes where I'm like, I don't really want to care about this game as much. I mean, I still like playing 2v2, but I want some chests because I have some chest slots open, so I'm just going to spam some 2v2 games.
Yeah, especially when you want some more trophies to get that crown chest.
Yeah, exactly.
And oftentimes 2v2 goes all the way to the 3 crowns.
Yeah, look at this double golem drop that immediately gets raged.
Uh-huh.
That's a really smart play by them. They had the defense available. AHQ tried to fireball, but it just wasn't quite enough. Those double golems were just too much.
Missed onto that golem. We do have the interview though. See who it's going to be from OPGG.
那我们要恭喜的就是 OPG Skeleton 赢下了这个 match。
일단은 너무 경기를 승리하시니까 축하드립니다.
对，那我这边想要来问一下的第一个问题是，你们在对上 AHQ Esports Club 这支队伍的时候，你们在赛前是怎么样的一个心情呢？
일단 첫 번째 질문은요. 이 상대팀은 대만팀 AHQ 팀이 있잖아요. 네, 경기 시작 전에 소감은 어떠였어요?
Before you went to the match, what did you think about HQ
일단은
Esports
저희가
Club?
연패를 많이 하고 있어서
We were on a losing
정말
streak,
꼭 이겨야겠다는
and we were just thinking that we
올라오게 됐어요.
really want to have
就
the
是
win.
他们赛前其实有做过很多研究，而且也就是下定决心，就是一定要赢。
是，那这边再问第二个问题的话，就是你们在2v2的对决的时候，你们用了3个建筑的那一套卡牌，就你们那个时候的想法是什么？怎么会用出这一套很新奇的一个牌组？
그 2대2 경기에서는요, 네, 그 건물을 3개를 나오잖아요. 왜 이렇게 건물을 3개를 데리고 나오는지 궁금한데요.
And what was the reason behind it?
일단 방어적인 덱을 하면서 한
We
번에
wanted to have massive
무덤이랑
defense.
빙결 마법으로 게임을
And then have
끝내려고
graveyard with the free
방어적인
spell.
측면에서 건물을 3개를 선택했던 것 같습니다.
So
他
that's
们
the
之
reason
所
why
以
we
会选
chose
择
all
3个
three
建筑物，是
structures
主要是为
for
了能够
ourselves
防御，
to
然
have
后
a
在防御
defensive
的
tool
同时，
first.
当然如果能够顺便进攻，也顺便赢的话，会更好了。
就对防御又可以顺便进攻的意思嘛。好的，那接下来我们回到了 1v1 的部分哦，想问一下你们在对上侠客的时候，是不是都有特别要防他们的这个骷髅召唤，就是墓园的这张牌呢？
그 1대2 경기에 하는 질문인데요. 그 1대2 경기 이번에는 그 상대팀 선수 샤크라는 선수는 항상 무덤을 쓰는데요. 혹시 그
For
또
question for
위해서
GTV,
특별히 준비를
Shaki always
하셨나요?
uses the graveyard.
네, 무덤을 즐겨 쓴다고 알고 있어서 무덤한테 좀 괜찮은 상성이 유리한 덱을 들고 가려고
Did you
그렇게
know that
생각을
before?
많이
Yes,
하고
I
있었습니다.
did have that data.
对，就
So
是
I
他们
tried
其
to
实也
bring the
知道
decks
侠
that
客
were
他非
great.
常常使用
that
就
were
是那个
going
骷
to
髅召唤
counter
的
the
这个卡
graveyard.
牌，然后因此他们在事前就有研究过，而且有针对这一点就是特别去想过解决的方案。
好的，那接下来我们问最后一个问题的话，我想问一下，就是也是我个人蛮想问的，我想问一下유이 첸，就是你的那个拜拜的那个手势，它是有什么样的一个意思吗？
개인적인 질문인데요.
Personal
방금
question?
의찬님은
의찬?
그거 손을 이렇게 약간 제사를 하시는 짓을 하시는데요. 그 혹시 특별한 네 제사, 예.
You have
네,
that
혹시
gesture
특별한
before you go into
뜻을
the game.
가지고 있는지 궁금하신데요.
What's the reason behind it?
아, 딱히 특별한 뜻은 없지만
Doesn't really mean
팀원들과
anything.
같이 좀 힘내자는 의미에서
But
하이파이브.
just to hype up my teammates, it's some kind of a
它是一个
gesture.
high five，
哦
它没有
是一个
其
high
他的
five
意思，对。
Oh, I actually wanted to. He actually wanted to high five his
哎，
teammate,
这是我
and
们
he
的赛
missed.
后采访，然后杨
His
总
teammate never responded.
인터뷰 감사드립니다. 그리고 그 이번에
got
승리도
left
다시
hanging
한번
now.
축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
SoBG skeleton.
对。好的
So
那
it
一样
wasn't like
是
a
我们
lucky
这个第一个
gesture. He
match
was
已经
trying to
结
high
束
five
了
his
I was like-
teammate. So he was like this, but his teammate was like way too focused on deck choices or
Oh
something.
man,
Oh man.
that's so funny. Oh my gosh. You see it in professional sports. You see it in esports.
That's real teamwork.
Get left hanging, man. That's real teamwork.
And the negative synergy between the team. But hey, they won the 2v2.
Yeah, they played great in that 2v2. That was really
They were
well done.
really ready for the strategy, and OPTG Skeleton, of course, taking a win against the HQ. But that's only our match number 1. We still have 2 more matches coming up right at you after the short commercial break. We will be right back. Welcome back to Clash Royale League Asia. We're on to match number 2. Another Korean win from match number 1 and makes it 4-0 this weekend.
Wow. Yeah, really impressive from them. Again, like we talked about earlier, OPGG really needed that win.
Yes.
Especially against the strongest SEA team right now, AHQ. But AHQ takes another loss, so that the rankings in SEA tighten up even more.
That
They're
is
already
true.
pretty tight. Now they're getting even closer.
Oh man, some other teams should be from the Southeast Asia should be pretty happy about that result because they also want to climb and make sure they have a spot in the playoff right after.
Right.
And OPG, they gain another life on their survival here as Kings and Dragon X, though they are on the top and should be coming up right very soon for match number 2. They are winning so many games, and it's almost possible for them to catch up to the Japanese team Ponos and game win.
Right. But they've got the man, Expo Master, who has been an absolute monster. He is winning 66% of his games.
Oh, yes. Not just the percentage, if you actually look at the numbers of how many times he played that 1v1, you will be amazed. It's not him. It is not this guy. Certainly not this person. And it is this boy.
There he is.
The confident player.
The legend. And they keep, you know what's really interesting? Teams keep banning Expo against him, and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
He doesn't use it.
Yes.
When they don't ban Expo, he doesn't use it. He's so good at everything that it doesn't matter.
And for Kicks, you actually have a new roster with Lampo, The Rock, Dylan, Jawiz. Lampo, the newest addition, added on July 20. May 28th.
May 28th.
So it's been some times, but Kicks, we were saying yesterday, me and Joel, that they really need a specific player, a special player for their 1v1 because they were losing, dropping the 1v1 to start off, and their 2v2 was even struggling. So they need to have a specific player, which all the teams does by now, like Expo Master or from Gamewit, it's
Jacques
Shun
HQ,
or
yeah.
Jacques from AHQ. And all these teams has a dedicated 1v1 player and maybe a duo, maybe two of the duos.
Yeah.
For 2v2, but right now Kicks, they don't really have a specific player for 1v1 or a specific 2 for 2v2. So they were still trying to mix and match, and which didn't work out too well. So I think that's the reason why we have Lampo here for 1v1.
Yeah. So Lampo seems to be, I think I read on his sheet now, it's in Korean a little bit, so I'm trying to translate as best I can. I think his favorite card is Baby Dragon. Or
Baby Dragon and Expo.
And Expo,
from
right?
what I know.
Yeah, he likes Baby Dragon and Expo.
Against the Expo Master, though.
Yeah, against the Expo
Is he
Master.
enough to beat the Master? Or is it just his favorite card? Or is he a Master also?
Yeah, did they bring him in as like an Expo specialist just to like
Ooh.
take down Expo Master? They're
Like a
you-
Expo Master assassin?
Exactly.
That could be spicy because he actually put down Expo as his favorite card as well.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Maybe we will not see an Expo ban. Expo mirror match.
Yeah, maybe. It could happen.
It did happen once, I believe, in Korea 1v1 in the first week or the second week. But ever since that, we didn't really see Expo mirror because we had so many more different decks coming in.
Yeah.
And even maybe this will be the time we do not see the Expo ban from the opponent.
Right. I don't see Expo too much these days on the ladder, outside of maybe like some Korean teams and some foreign teams or I shouldn't say foreign, excuse me, Asian teams. They I've seen Expo more often with them.
Yes.
Than I do, say, when I get matched against players from the Middle East or Europe or America. I don't see too much Expo from them.
Look at that. 20.
Wow.
10. Of course, 66.6. Oh, 0.7 if you round up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Repeating,
Let's do
of
the
course.
math right, okay? But 20 wins. Oh, man. He played 30 games. And Lampo, look at this guy. No information whatsoever.
Look at that smile on his face.
I know.
16-year-old, currently in international age. He turned 17 on the 25th of August. I can't believe I know that. So a very young kid.
See? Look at that.
Look at
no
his smile.
Expo on the band.
Or
Balloon band.
We're calling it right now. Expo v Expo right here.
May just be. He's going to challenge against the Master. Is it a bait, though? Is it a bait that Expo Master to play that Expo and Lampo would have something like the Royal Giant?
Yeah, I don't actually expect Expo Master to play Expo. He hasn't done it much in this tournament. I don't think he's gonna do it here. But what will Lambo do? Will Lambo go Expo some kind of deck of his own? I'm kind of curious. We don't know much about him, right? First time we're seeing him.
We actually do not know anything about him. That's
Yeah.
the thing. All we know is that he likes to swim. That's his hobby.
Yes.
And the thing that's he's most proud of is playing Clash Royale. So this guy is definitely, he deserves to be one of the player from Kicks.
Oh man, at his high school, he is the king of the nerds, man. He is just sitting there with that phone, and all of his friends are like, "Yeah, I just reached 4,000 trophies." He's like, "Oh, that's cool."
Oh, that's cool. Like, talk to me when you're above 5,000.
Yeah,
okay?
right.
Before that, just speaking body language.
Yeah.
Okay? he's from Taipei, right, where the studio is, Taiwan, and he's still a student. And
Still a student.
yeah, compared to many other players who has been playing Clash Royale for 2 years, 1.5, which is not too bad, I would say, in terms of experience. But Baby Dragon favorite card and favorite strategy Expo. Okay, that's what I saw. Expo deck.
Yeah. So it looks like they're getting ready here. They're setting up their decks. I think Lambo has to at least try the Expo once, I feel like.
Yes, if that's his best stack with
Yeah.
the strategy,
Right.
I think he can actually try once. Okay, he gets 2. He
Right.
gets 2 strike, he's out, but he can try once and challenge against the master, see how he does,
Right.
and then maybe try something else.
Yeah, an Expo isn't super strong against the hybrid decks. So, if like these cycle decks that we've seen Expo Master play sometimes, it's not terrible, but it's not great, especially if you get a miner in there and you've got like some
Yes.
skeletons or something soaking up that initial damage from the Expo. But you could follow it up if you cover it with like a baby dragon or archers or something like
or
that.
Tesla.
Tesla. Yes, the Tesla Expo
Great pair,
combo.
but the thing that worries me is that because Expo Master just yesterday, because he was using some bandit, like the battle ram, something that charges in directly to
Yep.
something like an Expo or Tesla, and once they are quick in movement, it's really hard to stop them from going direct damage
Yep.
into the Expo. That could be a straight up counter, and that's why we do have the most deck. This is kind of like what we saw from yesterday, but without the graveyard and more of those bandits.
Right. Yeah, the bandit is a really interesting card because once it gets rolling, it just starts just
Dashing
and
in.
it gets crazy.
I know.
I really like the P.E.K.K.A. bandit decks. Like you can really cover the P.E.K.K.A. really well with bandit, and then you have something like Zap and lightning to cover it as well. It can be really strong, and because sometimes it's really hard to get that P.E.K.K.A. in there. Because he's so slow, and you can kite him with like an ice golem or a knight or something.
Or just
But if you have bandit there, that eliminates kind of that kiting ability.
and they can just dash in, make sure it does tons of damage. But look at the sheet here, and I'm reading here from Lampo. He said, "I have the talent to beat my opponent."
Ooh, he's confident. He had a nice little smile on his face. I think he's ready to go. He's excited.
And in terms of the style of these players, so far yet to be known by Lampo. But Expo, he's also confident. He was saying some brutal things yesterday. In the interview, he was saying, "I played bad, but my opponent was worse, so I won." That's pretty brutal, I would say.
That's a little bit of BM there, man.
Uh-huh.
A little bit. Well, he's one of the best players we have here, but here we go. Game 1.
Oh, yes. So we're about to go into the legendary arena.
All right. I am super excited for this.
We do have lots of the ones, barrels, miners, and even the Hog Rider available, but Tornado is out there. So
True.
just to be careful.
Very good point. Yeah. Tornado will almost certainly see poison. Okay. Minor bats countered by the Rascals and some more bats of his own.
With the same, and the Electro Wizard
Yep.
getting the counter to the miner, so not really too much damage from either side taken.
Oh, Dark Goblin.
Oh, another cycle deck from Expo Master, something similar to what we saw from yesterday.
Yep. Yep. So he's opting for that cycle. So Lambo seems like he's running a cycle of his own
Skeleton Barrel.
with the Goblin Horde. Or Goblin Horde.
Goblin Horde, that would be disgusting. Favorite it.
Goblin
The
gang. They're just a
skeletons-
gang of goblins, not a horde yet.
Skeletons actually did quite connected few damage.
Okay, counters with the miner. Electro Wizard gets that miner from attacking the tower.
Trading Expo Master. I think that really brilliant strategy, but against the skeleton barrel, that has been the most of the damage source onto the bottom left.
Very similar decks from these two players. The difference being the Goblin Barrel for Lampo and the Electro Wizard and Dark Goblin from Expo Master. So, wow.
Spear Goblin does a lot more first shots.
A lot more.
67 compared to 50 before the balance change.
Yep, they're still hanging on to their 2 trap cards here. Just waiting to see what they got.
Or are there other winning key cards?
Yeah, okay, so this time Expo Master opted to let that miner do a little more damage. Okay, there's the Inferno Dragon.
But
The
against
miner-
so many small ones, it's not going to help too much, so Lampo just cycling, I think.
Yeah, Lambo was maybe a little afraid that he might try something a little different off what we've seen Expo Master doing, but it looks like so far just a cycle. Poison gonna make short work of that Goblin Barrel.
But the Electro Wizard is the straight up counter against the Inferno Dragon.
Yep, oh, there it is, a P.E.K.K.A.
You have it.
Oh, are we gonna see Bandit after this?
Pull from the miner, slowing it down a little bit more.
Yeah, right now, Expo behind, quite, not a lot, but you know, a little bit. 1,300 damage. Here come the Rascals. On the other side, Expo making a push, not really getting anything through.
Log misses one of the girls in behind, so the P.E.K.K.A. does survive, but the Inferno Dragon takes him out. Poison doing some more damage to the tower now.
Right, that Dark Goblin's gonna go down. He can't let this connect. Okay, he gets the Goblin Gang out there. The P.E.K.K.A's down as well, taking just a little bit of damage, and they're
So
gonna
Master
push.
misses a little bit to the miner, thinking that it was off to the right.
We still missing a card from Expo Master.
May just be just a heavy spell
Maybe like a rocket.
to finish off the tower-ish.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the perfect time.
Oh.
Expecting a miner, but poison right on top, so miner will be doing some more damage.
Oh yeah, really nice play by Lambo there. Kind of expecting that play from Expo Master. He knew he had cycled to that point, and that was going to be the counter. Ooh. Log.
Switches off to the right side, right lane.
Here comes the Goblin Barrel. Are we going to get the poison with it as well this time? Did he get it in his hand yet? Oh, it gets through and hits.
And it goes all the way down. The Electro Wizard is not enough to stop all the miner, and the poison damage will just finish off very soon, and that's going to... Oh, only 6!
Oh,
But
the log.
will finish off, and Lampo, on his first game, defeats one of the best Korean player in Game 1.
The Expo Assassin has arrived. Really nicely done by him. A really interesting deck there. Comboing the Goblin Barrel,
Oh.
or I'm sorry, the Skeleton Barrel
Uh-huh.
with the Poison is a really interesting. I can't remember ever seeing that that I can recall off the
I
top
think
of my
he
head.
just wanted to have something to block before the Inferno Dragon. He wanted to push in a little bit further, and lots of units to get down with the skeletons. And
Right.
Most of the units from Expo Master was very low in health, like
Yeah.
the Goblin Gang. Even the Electro Wizard is not too healthy against the poison. So the poison was getting massive value all the time.
Yeah, that's very true. And he did a couple good times predicting the counter to his miner.
Uh-huh.
He knew one time that he had the Goblin Gang available when the miner came through, and the poison came down right away and just massacred that
Yeah,
Goblin
even
Gang.
before the Goblin Gangs.
Yeah.
Because he was basically predicting that cycle just coming through and through from Expo Master.
Yeah. So a really nice, really overall strong game for his first game here.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't seem to be too nervous. You know, you look at him, he doesn't look too nervous. He just playing his game, his favorite game. Gets to do what he always wanted to do, what he dreamed of doing, playing Clash Royale.
That's right, Clash Royale competitive. A lot of the times, players, when they go into their first stage, they're not really nervous for the game because once you're focused on the game, you're wired.
Yeah.
And you're just focused on the game. You play like normal, but when you're having the interview,
Yeah.
your hands shake like crazy.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, I'm in front of the camera. What do I say? But when they're playing the game, they're all good to go. They're all pro.
Yeah. Well, it's all muscle memory at that
Mhm.
point. It's just things they've done many, many times. So they know what they need to do. It's not like me when I play Clash Royale on the ladder. My hands are shaking, and I'm like,
Our muscles are getting old.
when I get like close to like reaching a new like tier, I'm like, okay, I might go up the next tier. Shaking, shaking. But game number 2 between Lambo and Expo Master about to begin.
Let's see what kind of changes Expo Master has made in the minute that we had. No timeout called. Let's see if he can make a massive comeback. That's the best story that could happen in all esports.
Yeah, it seems kind of interesting that Expo Master banned the Elixir Pump.
He always
He
always does. His win rate with that ban is actually 60-something%, quite high enough to be like 67%.
Okay. So basically most of the time he's banning it and winning.
Uh-huh.
Makes sense.
Oh,
Okay.
there's a
Oh.
Moro. Maybe the Rascals again from Lampo.
Okay. Okay, so Lampo looks a little disappointed when he saw
Yeah, the Giant.
the Giant there.
Because against those structures like the Expo or the Moro,
Right.
Giant is straight up counter. It's just
Oh,
so heavy.
and
it
with
will
that
take all
log.
the damage.
Oh, boy. Oh, this is... And he's got
Oh,
the Hunter.
I know. Just cleaning up duty from behind.
Right, so Ice Golem's going to soak a little bit of the damage. But those bats aren't going to do much.
Yes.
So-
Second bats, so he's holding into a few other cards.
Yeah, he looks a little perplexed. He's not sure how to handle this. Okay, he's going to... Okay,
Oh,
Inferno Dragon.
not the best way of defending against the Miner, I would
No.
say, but still does the job.
Right. The Guardians here. Not great for the Inferno Dragon to be shooting the armor of the cards.
Yeah, Expo Master wanted to deploy Giant a little slower because the Inferno Dragon was going to lock onto it. There's a zap to reset.
Exactly.
And well
Lambo's-
played. Even right in the middle of the game. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
he's got that time to do nothing. Well, great manner there.
Yeah. He's, you know, he knows he might have just gotten outthought here.
Uh-huh. Making sure the guards actually, their movement speed is fast enough to not get caught by all the damage because
Right.
it's area damage from the Moro, and it will take all the shields down.
Right. Right. The mortar, there are a few units it just can't hit.
Uh-huh.
And
It just
that's
misses
why I
the
don't-
goblin the entire.
Yeah, all
the
the
spear
goblins.
goblin.
Yeah, the spear goblins just misses those. The regular goblins too.
Ooh, the Giant gets one punch,
Ooh.
but
Okay.
counter-attack wise, they're doing more damage onto the left bottom side.
Yeah, okay, he got a little bit of damage in there.
Ooh, actually,
It's-
quite a lot, 600.
Yeah, almost even here. So Lambo's still in this. He has one card we haven't seen. Doing a good job protecting against it. I think he...
The Expo does come against
Oh,
the
it's the
Master.
Expo!
Let's see it.
Oh my gosh. Really
The
interesting
Moro
here.
to the Miner, countered by the Rascals. The Poison, the great use from Expo Master, getting the massive value, but the Moro onto the left side again. Expo even doing the damage, connecting few shots.
Yeah, okay, a log coming down there. The Hunter taking a lot of damage. Here comes some bats. These bats won't get through to the tower, really. But the Mega Minion to counter the Mortar. The Mortar doing a little bit of damage here. So Lampo has taken a bit of a damage advantage. Now it's split between two towers.
Uh-huh. But Expo Master, he has been focusing onto the right, but now he really has to go to the left because his towers are going down. He has to focus onto the off lane also.
Right, he's got to pick whichever lane Lampo doesn't drop the Expo in. Or I'm sorry, the Mortar in. Because the Expo is going to come on the other side.
Maybe both of them right after the Expo. It may just be Mortal onto the left side again. Hunter does go down, lands on few shots, down to 13-10.
So no, Lambo starting to take an advantage
Oh,
here.
Expo Master guesses wrong. Thinking that it was going to be the right side. It's on the left side. Again, Lampo just fiddling with Expo Master's head right now.
Oh, wow. That well played might have been a little bit of a cheeky move there to try to throw Expo Master off
Down
mentally.
down to 3 digits. Still a lot of time. Down to 150, but with a lot of the structures.
Yeah,
Just
this
be possible Giant right on top.
right. He's got to do that at this point. Inferno Dragon comes down right away. Hunter follows it up. Ice Golem gonna get taken out there. Not any damage coming through from the Expo this time.
Uh-huh.
That Inferno's gonna just barely take out.
So the
Hunter.
real problem is one of the he can get Expo down with the Giant, but how does he make sure the Moro doesn't really connect damage to the tower? He has to use the Giant again, which is a big elixir spent.
Right, he's got to spend so much elixir every time.
Uh-huh.
And the Inferno Dragon is always just coming down right away to protect these structures that he's putting
Rascal's
down.
doing some damage onto the right side, down to 605.
Wow.
454.
Wow, Lampo just eating away at him. He's looking confident now. Log coming through.
And after the guards, the Expo connects straight to the tower. This cannot be stopped in time. Expo Master zaps in, but not going to be enough. And Lampo takes 2 straight wins against the strongest player from Korea. Expo Master goes down 0-2.
Wow, this kid, the assassin, coming in here in his first match ever and 2-0ing Expo Master. Well
With an
done.
Expo.
Wow, with an Expo. He gave a little sign himself there. I think that might have been an X, like for Expo, maybe?
Hey, Kicks.
Maybe?
I think he...
Oh, Kicks, do they
Maybe.
have like a sign?
I think that's maybe the best decision they made to
Yeah.
bring this new player into their team. So far, how he has been playing, very aggressive player, very, very aggressive. Not as defensive, I would say, but
Right.
just having crisp calculation, just playing with the opponent's mind. I mean, Expo Master, he was lost. He was losing all the elixirs because the attacks were coming from left and right, both games in 1 and 2.
Right. And in this first game, they both played kind of cycle decks, but Lampo had this really interesting wrinkle in it with that skeleton barrel, which allowed him to kind of just eventually chip through and get through Expo Master's defenses. And some really nice plays with the miner as well and the poison.
And Lampo, he was also using the Rascals just enough to defend
Yeah.
the other lane, and also the Rascals were just enough with a spell, maybe that was a help, to go all the way and harass at the same time. So Expo Master was lost. Do I really defend both lanes at the same time? He doesn't really have too many units to defend both lanes. Guards, you can split guards, but
Right.
that's like the only thing that he has.
Right. And anytime he did a great job, eventually Lampo did with that Inferno Dragon. He held on to it for a long time, right? We didn't see it after the first mortar, the first couple, mortars came down. He saved it. And then finally getting that Expo at the end to lock onto the Princess Tower.
Has a Mega Minion, but that's an air unit. And
Yeah.
Expo will shoot straight through the ground. And there has been nothing in between that Princess Tower and the Expo. Lampo taking a win with the Expo. We were predicting even before during the commercial break, we were kind of guessing, is he trying to go with the Expo and defeat the king from Korea?
Yeah.
He has done it already.
He's done it. He's beaten the master at his own game. Love it.
How proud should he be from the Kicks? I mean, a great pickup, I would say.
Yeah.
New player with no data, and not just by the counter deck choices, but the the placements of all the units. I think he is possibly one of the best players in Southeast Asia. Early to tell,
Yeah.
of course, from just 2 games, but he was on top today for sure.
Yeah, he looked great. I mean, if you come in here and you beat arguably the best player in Korea, I don't think it's too arguable. He seems like he is the best Clash Royale player in Korea right now. In your first match ever, and you 2-0 him, that's a great start for your future. That's like in baseball going up and hitting 2 home runs in your first 2 at bats. Really impressive. So but now we're moving on to 2v2. I'm curious though if Kicks can win this round, this match. They got to interview Lambo, right?
Yes, that is certainly going to be their interview, as they need to climb up because AHQ dropped, so Kicks, they can actually tie up.
Right. This is big
close
for
to
Kicks, yeah.
They actually played one more, so close to being a tie-up if they win this matchup.
Wow.
And maybe after tomorrow, they will be on top of Southeast Asia. That is still possible because they're so close together right now with 3-4s and 4-3s.
Right. So, 2v2 time. I believe it is
Ho in July.
Ho in July versus The Rock. And was it Jahuiz?
Dylan today.
Dylan.
Jawi
Dylan's
was
today.
yesterday, which is the normal duo.
Okay.
Dylan is usually the 1v1 player, but he didn't really have too much success. So having Lampo in, great job in set number 1, and you can actually have some switches in the duo, making sure The Rock plays with the one that's comfortable. So Dylan doesn't have to play that 1v1 anymore.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. That
So
makes a lot of
everything right now for Kicks is working out because Lampo brought the first set to the team. And this pair, The Rock has been pairing up with lots of different members, but with Dylan has been putting off better results. So there you have it, and then the perfect duo for Kingdom Dragon X as well. Ho and July.
Yeah, so here we've got our bans coming in. Again, no Tornado. Ho and July opt to ban the Goblin Barrel. The Rock and Dylan banning P.E.K.K.A. So, once again, Tornado's available. Will we see something like last time where we have double Graveyard Freeze? Although Poison's available, so you can't do it. Poison's definitely going to be here.
Yep. All the spells available. It's continuing from last weekend, the Korean players are really concerned about the barrel because a lot of the Japanese players, they were just having all the barrel throws, and the bait decks were 2v2 and 1v1 also. So after the weekend of facing against all that,
Right.
I think they're really concerned. And right now, the current meta, maybe they have watched how strong that could be, and just banning that out.
Well, yeah, the Goblin Barrel is a really tricky card to deal with because if you use a log or zap on it, you know, zap won't completely kill the goblins. They'll just still do some damage. If you use log, you gotta A, time it right, and B, depending on their placement, you know, they could still get a hit in.
And C, you need to make sure your teammate does not use the same spell at the same time. Yes. That is the real trick.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not faking it. That is the real trick.
Oh, I know. I do that all the time in 2v2 when I just play with, you know, random people or whatever. You know, I don't really care. I just want to play to have fun. And we both log at the same time, and immediately we're both like cry face.
And then another barrel suddenly appears onto the other side, and you are saying, "Oh man, I just threw that log right before."
Yeah. And you're like, well, now I have left to counter it in my hand is Executioner or Wizard or something expensive. And it's like, well, they just got me. Nothing I can do.
That's what we saw, actually. A few mistakes like that, even with the teamwork they had. So the barrel is banned, and also the P.E.K.K.A., which gives off lots of smell that they are going to play something heavy like the Giant or even the Golem.
Yeah.
To have a slow push, just as usual.
Right. We can see they favored those beatdown decks, kind of, you know, the Golem Prince kind of decks that we've been seeing that have become very popular in the 2v2 meta. And sometimes in the 1v1 meta, you'll see if somebody opts to go something really heavy and they have the pump available, they'll do pump like Prince, Golem. I've seen that a couple times.
Yeah, Ho and July, of course, focusing on the double Golem, but very spell heavy. Poison, Zap, even Tornado whenever it's available, and even a few Rockets along with Electro Wizard. So they're really concerned about stopping that Inferno Dragon.
And we could see very similar decks here where they're both running Golem beatdown decks with Princes, and, you know, it's going to come down. Now, they like to use Rage. Kix does. Kix likes to use Rage, which I think is could be a game changer. That card is so powerful if you time it right. And that's a card that I hate when I'm playing. I hate to come up against Rage because it's like, it just kicks you out of nowhere. You're just like, okay, I'm okay, I've got the counter. Oh no, they've got Rage. No, I don't have the counter. No, I don't have the counter to E-Barbs because they have Rage.
They have Rage built onto them. Yes. They're already angry.
They're angry, angry men.
And on top of that, Rage could be some sort. Though we did not quite see E-Barbs yet.
No, we haven't seen it in the competitive scene too much. It can be a surprise card, but there's still so much that can kind of counter it.
But we did see a Wizard today. So
we did see a Wizard.
Maybe there will be time in the coming month where we will have a balance update every month from now on. That's what has been the official news. Of course, follow the community if you want the latest news. You can also check out News Royale on there's an icon at the home, I guess the home screen of your Clash Royale.
Yeah, your main screen, your battle screen. Yep. The little news button there on the right-hand side that always is annoying you, turning gold and putting little numbers up.
When there's a red #1, you just have to click it and get that number out of the way, you know?
You have to.
But you get to find out about the newest updates and all the good news.
It's true. I read it all. I actually really like it. I read it a lot. And I love that they're doing updates so often now.
Yep. Now we will have new meta every week. Every month. New meta every week. Whoa. That's crazy.
I don't need that.
Me neither. So let's get into 2-2.
Okay, Miner.
Early Miner.
Yep.
Perfect placement, just in case there's a Tornado again.
Okay, here we go. A little bit of a wrinkle in X-Dragon's strategy here.
Seems like Kings and Dragon X, they're really focused on the Tornado.
Yeah.
You have the Executioner and the Giant Skeleton.
Yeah, okay. Prince coming down Inferno Dragon, but they've got the guards there to soak up a little bit of damage from that Inferno
Yeah,
Mega Minion.
Great against the Prince and the Inferno Dragon at the same time.
Ooh, that lightning.
Dragging it away a
Ooh.
little bit.
Magical Archer here.
Shooting that magical arrows.
Those go so far. They go further than his range actually is, which I find to be really cool.
Yeah, those activate the King Tower as well from the bridge.
That's true. Yeah, they can hit.
You do have to be careful sometimes.
Yeah, you could tornado. Yeah, you can tornado him to the point where the angle comes and he hits the Princess Tower and the King Tower to activate your own King Towers if you want. If they don't have, you know, Miner or Hog Rider or something like that.
Yeah, that's really hard, and I don't think it's. I think you have to be really, really good to do it every single time. But does have that tornado? But the princess, not the princess. The Dark Prince actually drags enough damage to have the Miner down there.
Right. So it doesn't quite activate the King Tower. Right now they're just content to this rocket.
Goodbye, Prince. Oh, actually does not catch the Prince.
Oh no. Oh, that was a very mistimed rocket.
The golem was just sitting there for that 3-second spawning time.
I mean, at least it hit the golem?
Yes. At least. Prince actually goes down with his explosion damage from the giant skeleton as well. So.
You know, that's perfectly fine. It wasn't ideal. It could have been huge if that hits the Prince and the golem and the tower. Oh, man.
So no big trouble for
that value.
But still, that rocket now. Kicks, they do know that rocket is available. And down to 410. That's lethal with one single rocket.
Yeah, the double miners here getting a little bit of damage in. This giant skeleton, great defense, does so much damage when it drops that bomb, and it does so much damage even to the golem.
The fireball trying to do some more damage to the tower directly, but the golem never really getting the connection.
Yeah, nice tornado there to keep the golem off the tower. Guys, the giant skeleton comes through there with a decent amount of health still and still pushing. That's bad news.
Next on to the Mega Minion.
Yeah, Kicks in a little bit of trouble here. That
gets the Dark Prince.
They're not quite okay. They're poisoning a rocket away. This should be it. And yeah.
Even the zap, they're so heavy spell.
Right.
That their attack and defense only relying on few defenses, and most of the damage comes from the spells. So oftentimes the opponent, especially the Japanese team, they ended up banning the spell.
Yeah.
But just Kicks this time, the Rock and Dylan just leaving all the spells out for Ho and July. I personally don't think it's the best idea.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why they suffered in Game 1.
Yeah, I think they really would have benefited from banning maybe even Rocket.
Yeah.
Or
just the poison or tornado, that's the easy one.
Yeah, any of those. I think, yeah, tornado as well really proved to be pretty detrimental. They just could never quite get those golems onto the Princess Towers of King Zone because of that tornado. At the last minute, they would tornado and drag that golem away so that even after it split, they couldn't get back.
And Kicks, I believe they didn't also have a rage on their own to speed up the golem.
Yeah, they didn't.
Or maybe they had it, never got a chance to use it because the tornado was dragging them back all the time.
Yeah.
So there were lots of problems with the synergy, how to actually have that golem connect to the tower. And there were lots of defensive tools from Kingdom Dragon X. They had the giant skeleton, they had the tornado, lots of defensive units, as well as a magic archer.
Yeah. Yeah, magic archer not bad. It's a unit that I struggle with because the positioning is so important with it. And I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, okay, they're going to drop like Minion Horde. All right, I'm going to drop Magical Archer here, and it's going to hit 3 of them and kill them, and then hit the other 3, and I drop it, and it hits like 1 of them, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's constant, but the damage is actually quite weak.
Yes.
The range is massive, of course, but and it shoots through, but you need to make sure you're experienced enough to have massive value, at least hit 2 units or 3 units at the same time.
Right. Yeah, so game number 2 about to start. King Zone versus Kicks, 2v2. Kicks down a game.
Yeah, with Lampo, they got the best duo with the team. The Rock Dylan down a game, of course. Ice Spirit just trading.
Okay, so far nothing different. There's the Baby Dragon. That's a new one. We didn't see that last game. Rocket coming in.
Going to
misses
the dragon. Yeah.
Baby Dragon's a little faster than you think.
And the air units, they're actually in the air. You have to look at their shadow to actually see where they exactly are, the pixel.
Right. That's true. It's not the actual character animation. It's the shadow below them.
That's exactly where they are. You have to look at the shadow. That's why we have the shadow in the game.
Dark Knight versus Dark Knight. Magical Archer again. So nothing too different except for that baby dragon so
great
far.
fireball.
Oh, yeah.
The Archer. Now they're off to a better push with the golem now. But you gotta say, Tornado is locked and ready.
Yep, there it is. Nice tornado there.
Executioner doing some massive. Ooh, rocket this time.
Rocket of their own. Gets the Executioner. Will that? They'll get
so.
the Prince, and it gets
Only
one of the golems.
Okay.
So that's quite a bit of damage coming in for Kicks here. Ice Spirit.
That's
Just
good punches, but
get a
Miner
little
never really connecting. The second one will connect.
Yeah, wow. Okay, there's the poison. So, a little trade back from King Zone here, but they got to drop something in front of that Prince. There it is. The guards come. Double zap. Oh, they really want to get a little damage. Oh, just in time.
Zaps after zaps. Making sure the shields are gone, making sure this... Ooh.
Oh, what's going to happen again? It did. They
No
only
Prince.
hit the golem.
Yeah, only hit the golem in the tower. I think... Was that reflex?
Was that timed? I mean,
Yes.
I think I'm
After
going to
the
give them the
rocket,
benefit of
yes.
the doubt.
I think
it
they
was.
did. That was incredible.
Yeah, really nice rocket.
Ooh, taking massive damage. All the units and the charge will actually get the tower down.
Wow.
With a massive lead now. Only damage sword from Kingdom Dragon Axe has been the Miner, which was countered by these Prince all the time.
Oh, look
even
at this Magical Archer, though. The range on it, but they get it taken down with the Mega Minion.
And even activates the King Tower with the Tornado Kicks. They're off to a pretty good game number 2. All they have to do is defend the 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, this is looking really strong for them. It's going to be difficult for King Zone to get through here. Okay, they're dropping the Giant Skeleton. The Prince is in front. The Prince does pretty well against it. Okay, this time, will the Rocket connect with the Prince? They're just going right for the tower.
Yeah.
Do they have enough damage? Do they have a Fireball?
They need one more than a Fireball. Maybe even a Rocket. They do have some time.
The Rocket has to be out by now.
And the Miner.
Oh, no!
I don't think they have it.
No! Oh.
Maybe I was just waiting. I was waiting for maybe the double zap because that's enough to take 110.
Yeah,
And ooh, they
Yeah,
just
that's
did
true.
Not
They-
have anything.
that's true. They could have double zapped there,
Uh-huh.
and that would have been just enough damage. I thought, I was like, I said Fireball, and I'm like, no, they don't have Fireball. They haven't used it. The Kicks had the Fireball. So, interesting. That was really close. Nice job by Kicks there to add a few wrinkles into it. They tried the Baby Dragon, which ended up baiting a rocket that didn't connect.
Oh yes.
So that they got a lot of value out of that Baby Dragon.
And also deploying the Golem to block the Prince from taking that rocket damage.
Yeah.
That was something that we did not see before.
I've never seen that. I mean, that has to be intentional. It can't
Yes.
just happen like two
Because
or
when
three
you
times.
deploy the Golem, it stays on the same pixel for 3 seconds. It takes 3 seconds to the Prince.
Right.
Even if the Prince is pushing, it will stay in the same spot.
Right. It's immovable at that
Yes.
point. Yeah. Wow. So really interesting stuff. I love
I think
this.
that just made the change because the Prince got the charge all the way down to the tower.
Right.
Because it was not hit by the rocket.
Right. That's exactly correct. Yeah, it had that one hit that one time where it had just enough time to put in that one hit. And you're right. I think that made the difference.
Oh, and 110 was just enough for the double zap. Double zap does 112, so 110 it's just enough damage to go down. Maybe they didn't even have enough elixirs, or maybe they were just lost at that moment, not with the best.
Yeah, they had just used all their zaps. I think they only had, because they had to use 2 zaps, and then they used another zap right away.
And
To
then
try
they
to
used the
defend.
poison and the rocket right before.
Yep.
Maybe the cycle was the issue, and they didn't
Yep.
have enough time.
Yeah, they just didn't get that card cycled in time. Yeah. They had to use 3 zaps within a span of about 5 seconds before that, when there was maybe, 20 seconds left or so. So interesting.
So Kicks onto match point after Lampo taking 1v1, and they're onto 1-1 tied in set number 2. One more game, they will finish off the match. Maybe the first win of the weekend for Southeast Asian team.
Yeah, let's see if they can do it. King Zone stuck with the same deck. We didn't see anything change, really. Now, Kicks made some minor adjustments, and it worked out just barely, but it worked.
Yeah, their own rocket actually
Yes.
took out decent amount of damage to the tower and the units.
Yeah, and they got a lot of value out of their rockets, hitting those executioners, allowing their golems to get a couple hits in. You know, because Executioner very good when you get it lined up sort of horizontally with those golem units. Yeah. So
It was
very
kind of
fun.
predictable with the tornado,
Yeah.
where the Executioner was going to be stopped as well.
Right.
Rocket is one of the, I would say, slowest spell that flies out and do direct damage. And you would miss a lot, even in competitive it does happen.
Yeah, it's unless you're a rocket surgeon with that thing, man. It's hard to use, dude.
Like, I'm wearing a t-shirt that says NASA, but I miss all the time. I don't even use that rocket too much. I'm a fireball guy.
Yeah, I'm terrible with rocket. I try to avoid it. I like to pick it up and draft sometimes if I know that I've given them like Executioner or Sparky or something like that. Then I'm fine with it because I feel comfortable hitting those slow-moving units. But anything that like, can you imagine trying to hit like a lumberjack with a rocket? Like how good do you have to be?
Oh no.
Oh man.
I'm not even going to try. I'd rather hit the ones that are behind the lumberjack or right up front.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Here we go, the final game
they just
for this 2v2. Same response with the miner has been dealt with the prince all the time.
Yep. The Mega Minion follow-up, the Baby Dragon behind it. Okay, a Graveyard this time. So a little bit of a different choice here for Kingzone, but they're still rolling with that.
Yeah, just to
Giant-
delay
yeah.
a little more. Let's see
Okay,
if
this
it-
time they waited, and there was no chance for Kicks to drop that Golem there. They didn't have enough mana.
Yeah, I think they may not even have the cycle, perfect cycle. Oh, Tornado gets the King Tower activated so early in the game. And that's a big problem for Kings of Dragon X, as
Right.
they're relying so much on the miner. The King Towers will do so much.
Right, because of the cycles that time, right, Kingzone was able to wait so that they couldn't drop a Golem, so they could connect that rocket to the Prince. The counter to that was Kix being able to drag the miner into the King Tower.
So, not just the miner, I think Kings of Dragon X really has to defend it well enough so that they can actually use their own poison or some other spell to do the damage onto the tower as well. Great rocket, taking out lots of sources, but the Tombstone is delaying the Golem.
And this is really good for Kix. They forced out a defensive poison from Kingzone, allowing them to use their
does
own
activate the
offensive poison. Or they can activate the King Tower?
Yes.
Oh.
Nice. Nicely done. It was all chained with the Tombstone.
Yep. Okay, double miner coming down again. Double Prince to respond.
Oh.
Can you get a rocket here? Oh, wait, the explosion? Okay.
Let's get the damage onto the Prince only.
Okay. Wow,
Look at the
that's that skeleton's getting melted. Oh my gosh.
Just enough as a defense so your tower stays safe. In terms of what can happen, because of both King Tower activated, a lot more loss for Kings on Dragon X. Their miner is so weak now.
Yeah, the miner's much weaker now. They have that initial damage from those miners chipping them down, but they're not going to get nearly as much value out of that now. So they have to play a little bit more of a
look
defensive.
at that poison and the fireball, deleting everything on the ground.
Wow. A nice play by Kix there. Now they've got to be on the defense. They've got the Baby Dragon and the Ice Wizard. Ice Wizard does fine against the Guardians. An offensive poison for Kingzone Dragon X. The Baby Dragon going to knock that shield off the Dark Prince. Okay, this time that should connect. Yep. Nice
Next to
rocket.
everything.
Yeah, that's a value rocket right there.
And they need a little bit more than 2 rockets of their own, so Kix responding with their own rocket right after. But the thing is, their Kix's rocket not really connecting to the tower.
Right. So advantage Kingzone right now with those rockets. They're able to land them onto those princes this time. They're being more patient with those rockets. They're not allowing Kix to put the golem in front this time.
Even the double miner doing some damage, about 200 right now. All they need is a fireball and a rocket to finish off 630.
Yep, or a poison and a rocket. Should do it.
They just have to defend this push right now. 2:30 left. They have plenty of time. Time is working for Kings on Dragon X.
Yeah, they have to fireball there to try to get through, but here comes the poison. Rocket shouldn't be too far behind. They got to defend this first, though. They got to make sure that they can get it, and here comes the rocket.
More
GG.
than the damage you need.
Yeah.
They are going to come back, and we will go into the ace match. Is it going to be the rematch? Oh,
Oh, yes. I mean, you got to go with Lampo, right? He just
I
too
think
owed
so.
him.
And from what we know, how the characteristics of Expo Master, I think he wants to play again. And I don't know how the coach or the manager would say.
Yeah.
But from knowing the characteristics of Kingdom Dragon X and how Expo Master works, if he loses, he wants to take revenge all the time.
I think he's going to. I mean, there was a smile on his face after he lost game 1. He kind of did that. All right, kid, good job. Yeah, okay. Let's see what you got.
And then okay,
Yeah.
2 games.
Yeah.
Still have 20 to 12, so I still have a pretty good win rate for myself. I guess that's like the
Yeah.
best thing you can think of to
Yeah.
keep yourself together.
Yeah. So here's our replay.
Ooh, that Magic Archer getting some 3 shots to the
Yeah.
tower.
Yeah. That Magic Archer is such an interesting unit. It's one that when it first came out, I thought for sure I was going to be using it in my Royal Giant deck to try to protect my Royal Giant.
Yeah,
and
I
then-
thought it was going to be super strong as well.
Yeah. But it wasn't
Hard.
It's really hard to
Yes.
use. And
Hard
it's
to use.
and it's easy to kite it. Like you can drop units at weird angles,
Uh-huh.
and then it doesn't hit anything else. Like it's just shooting one target, and like we talked about earlier, it doesn't do a lot of single target
Yeah,
damage.
kind of weak against the spells too.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really put it in my deck as well. So this one, the second game where Kix actually got most of the damage from the rocket, connecting it to the Executioner as well. So the game number 3, Ho and July switched off, and they made sure they were placing units not in the range of the rocket for it to do damage onto the tower and the unit together. Look where they place all their units right after.
Right, that tornado there was brilliant
Uh-huh.
to drag those golems onto the King Tower, and that gave them a huge advantage in this game.
So look at that, only guards near the tower, and Ice Wizard like off to the side and Mega Minion off to the side. So Kicks, they were using all their rocket only to the units.
Yeah, the graveyard as well was a nice little wrinkle. It just bought them a little more time with those golems, so they weren't taking quite as much damage from the golems. Because in game 2, you saw the golems get through just enough that they were able to get 1 or 2 punches in each time, whereas in that last game, they basically weren't.
Yeah, these kind of small feedbacks and small changes, even if you are playing with the same exact deck, where you place the units and how you play them together can make this kind of difference in the 2v2. That's what we saw from Kingdom Dragon X with Ho and July. But with that, bringing back set number 2, it ties up. And 1v1 went to Kicks, and 2v2 went to Kingdom Dragon X. Who are we going to see for ace match?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping it's Lampo and Expo Master.
I do want to see the rematch.
That would be so good.
We would be the best, possibly the best 1v1 matchup, as we suddenly have a big rival against the Expo Master who seemed unstoppable
Yeah.
on 1v1, but suddenly shut down by Lampo.
Yeah.
This brand new player, 16 years old, 17 years
16
old?
currently international age, yeah.
And August he'll be 17.
Yeah.
Gosh, we're like stalkers. But this guy may be the new rising star from Southeast Asia.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious. I mean, it's early to say. He's just started, but you take 2 games against Expo Master, you're not a slouch.
And pretty convincingly, we watched all the game, and how he was attacking, it seemed like he was playing with Expo Master. That's
Yeah.
how good he was.
Well, we even saw him say "well played," and I thought this because I saw him on the screen, kind of going, "Oh, he's making this look." When the Giant came down for Expo Master, and I thought, "Oh, okay, is this kid like, did he get just outthought by Expo Master here?" That might have been part of the strategy,
Ooh.
a little psychology there, like. This is something you'll see people do when you play.
Maybe
All
just the straight up respect. Oh, we do have the Expo Master from Kingdom Dragon X.
He's got a smile on his face.
See, look at that, 20 and 12. Add that 2 to your loss and off to the other side. Who is it going to be? See the red side.
Come on.
We all know how Expo Master looks like.
Yeah. We've
I
seen
wanna see
him.
the loudest. And
Yes.
it is Lampo. The rematch will happen. Look at that. W2.
This is really exciting. Really exciting.
Woohoo!
I can't wait. What are we going to see? Are we going to see more Expo? Are we going to see another cycle challenge between the two? Will one do a cycle deck and the other does the Expo?
You know what would be the best? Expo Master banning the Expo.
Yes. Yeah.
Just respecting the opponent and say, okay, kid, you got it. Like, you're
That
pretty
would-
good.
That
And
would be so
that would
interesting.
be like against his character.
Yeah.
Against Expo Master's character because he's very prideful, always confident.
Yeah.
But stepping down from that high ground, I don't think it's that time yet, just after one set of games.
I mean, is that something where, you know, you have to be able to set your pride aside, right? Like where you're just like, okay,
For the team.
for the team, right. You know, I know that, yes, I am the Expo Master, but
I will drop that title just for today for the team.
right. Just to throw a
Maybe.
wrench in this kid's, you know, his gears here. I think if I'm him, I definitely ban it.
Oh man,
Because
what?
I maybe ban Mortar.
Maybe bring your own Expo deck?
You could. If I'm him, I'm bringing my own Expo
But
deck.
Expo Master has been banning Elixir Collector all the time. That was the only card ever since even his appearance in 2017. That was the only card, basically. I would say 90% higher.
So can he change?
He can. Certainly he can change. But we got to go into his brain and see what he's thinking right now. And oftentimes he's smiling, just having fun, enjoying the time up on the screen. But right now he is thinking about something else.
Yeah. Now he's really he's concentrating here.
Yes,
he's really
he's serious.
focused. Yeah. He's in serious mode. He's thinking about it. He's like, do I really have to do this? Do I have to ban Expo? Is this what my life has come to?
Yes, this is the moment where you hit the highest trophy ever, and then you think, do I play one more, or do I just stop here for now and then come back in an hour or something?
Yeah. Right.
That is the moment. Yes, he's staring straight at us.
Into our souls.
Uh-huh.
It's like, what do you guys think I should do? Well, Expo Master. All right.
Show us that you're the master. That's what you should do.
Yeah. This is so exciting. I mean, this is such a cool storyline. You've got one of the best players in Asia versus this up-and-comer. The up-and-comer 2-0s him. Now they're in the ace match.
The Tesla ban.
Oh. So, Expo Master still just banning the pump. But Lampo with the Tesla ban. So this is basically saying, Expo Master, I don't want you running that cycle deck.
I don't want you. This is hitting 5 birds in with one banned card.
Right.
But just saying, Tesla, I don't want that cycle deck. I don't want your bandit cycle deck that we saw yesterday. I don't want your Expo Tesla deck, which has been coming out with a lot in Korea. So
Yeah.
Lampo just understanding multiple decks that Expo may play around.
Yeah.
Basically, if Expo had the same decks from yesterday and the decks that he had played a lot in Korea, that's all canceled by this Tesla ban.
Yeah.
What
You're
a
absolutely
smart,
right.
What a smart guy.
Yeah, this is really smart.
So look at him like scrolling through all the decks right now. Oh man, I gotta take out all the Teslas.
Yeah. I don't think he had a deck that didn't. Like, he's probably
See-
like, I don't have
see
any
how
decks that
quickly
don't
he's
have
moving with
Tesla.
the fingers right now? Oh man, I gotta change all my decks.
I think he literally just says, like, I don't have any decks that don't have Tesla, guys. Like, this is really exciting. I'm really like lucky to be here today. This is like a story unfolding in
Yeah,
Clash
story
Royale.
unfolding and a big surprise. We thought maybe Mikambuya versus Expo Master.
Yeah.
Mikambuya versus someone else, and Chinchu, of course, having a surprise win. That was a great 1v1 matchup in the ace match. But tonight, what we have not expected. This is the best 1v1 matchup ever, I would say, in Week 7.
Yeah. This is. I'm like on the edge of my seat right now, just so ready to see what these two players have in store for each other. I mean, you've got the veteran versus the rookie. How many different ways can you say that? You know, the master versus the apprentice.
Oh man, there's gotta be a time where the apprentice goes above
Yes.
the master.
Every hero's arc has that, right? You know, Star Wars, whatever. It's that hero arc, right? So eventually, the apprentice has to surpass the master. Or kill his father, one of the two.
Oh man, that's brutal. But I know that's Star Wars, but you know, let's not get into let's not get into all the movies. Lampa may be the new hero, suddenly rising up from Southeast Asia, getting that 3 minutes to build the deck. What is he going to bring this time? Brought lots of Rascals.
Yep, he clearly likes the Rascals.
Yes.
That could have been something else that maybe Expo Master thought about banning. Those Rascals, they did prove really effective for him. Is he going to try the Skeleton Barrel thing again? I don't think so. I think we're going to see, at least in one of these games, the Expo again.
Yes, very likely from either side. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe the mirror matchup, which I'm really hoping for personally, but As Expo Master has been moving away from the Expo, just having lots of different cycling decks, so cheap cycles to get to just play with the opponent's set, but it was actually Lampo who did it better in the first set, had 2-0. Let's see if he can do it again against the Expo Master.
He's confident. He looks, he's just ready. He's like, yeah, okay. Little bit of a nervous side there now that he's in the ace match. This one's got a little more pressure.
I was born to play Clash Royale competitive. This is my first day, but I'm gonna make my name starting from today on.
Yeah, he's talking with his teammates there. This is really intense. I mean, they both have a lot of teammates around them talking about this. This is a really exciting matchup here, especially for Kicks. You know, yeah, obviously for Kingzone, yes, they're on top, right, in the Korean region right now, and they want to keep that. But Kicks, with AHQ losing to OPGG, they have a chance to move up in the standings, so it's an even bigger deal because of that.
Oh, yes. They are so close together, and Lampo still lack of data. We only kind of know that he likes to run the Rascals. We did see the Mortal Expo. Only 2 games, though.
Yep. He likes Baby Dragon as well.
Oh, yes. Compared to Expo Master, who played 32 games, lack of data can be a pain for him, but we're going into game.
All right. Will either of them drop something early, or are we going to wait to the 1 minute for sudden death?
It seems like both of the players so far really likes the cycling cheap decks.
Yep.
May have switched off to a beatdown mode.
Yeah, we kind of saw a little bit of kind of like a hybrid beatdown from Expo Master where he had that P.E.K.K.A. I believe.
Yes, a little bit.
A little
but
bit.
he was hiding that till the end.
Yeah.
And oftentimes when this kind of situation came down for Expo Master last year, he was using lots of bandits with the Knight just as a defensive tool.
Okay.
Graveyard comes down from Lampo.
Dark Knight and Poison.
Okay, he does have the counter.
Okay. So, what does Lampo answer with here? The Mega Minion's going to go down to the Electro Wiz in the Princess Tower. Is he going to let the Electro Wiz probably will get one shot in here? Oh, he's going to log it. Okay, he's not even going to risk that. Gets a little chip damage as well here. Okay. Okay.
Even a Tombstone. So he has been waiting something. So this is basically just a very standard graveyard deck from Lampo.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of a wrinkle yet. Maybe he's just going to go skeleton heavy, and he's got that skeleton barrel in the chamber again.
Let's see what else he's holding up in the sleeves. A Poison.
Poison.
To deal against the Poise.
Okay, so Graveyard Poison.
Very standard. Can't be more standard than this.
Right. Still ahead right now. About 1,800.
Little mix and match for Expo Master, though.
Yeah, he's going to take a little damage here.
Can still pair with the Giant. Seen those
That's
Giant
true.
kind of decks? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe double Prince. Maybe he's got the other Prince saved up there.
Yep.
It's a very popular deck. See it all over the place on the ladders these days.
But oftentimes without the Zap, only 2 spells, but having 3 spells, and look at that. Poison right on top. All the units, even the Graveyard caught right in.
Wow, that Poison is fantastic.
Graveyard and the Tombstone caught a Tornado.
Okay.
Lampo just dragging them back with the Executioner, making sure you have that synergy.
But does Lampo have the defense to keep these pushes at bay? Expo Master is going to just be able to keep dropping Giant and the Princes behind it, and they're just going to keep pushing in because he doesn't have the ability himself to push any further with the Graveyard Poison.
And then Poison actually doing the damage. Giant getting dragged by the Tornado, not in the range of King, not enough. With that nerf before, I think with the 2.5 seconds that was possible, with that 2 seconds now, it is not possible anymore.
Right, so the Executioner in the Graveyard trying to do a little more damage. He's getting a few hits in, but not many. Down to sudden death. Here comes the Giants and the Princes for Expo Master.
Law getting that massive value onto all 4 units, but the real damage is coming in from the Poison from Expo Master.
Yeah, doing a great job with that Poison. Doesn't get the Executioner that time, but at this point it doesn't matter. Gets a little extra blast in from the Electro Wizard. Lampo's got to make something happen in the next 2 or 3 pushes, or else it's GG.
Graveyard comes down again. Dark Prince just clearing all the skeletons. Landing a few hits onto the tower, though.
Ooh, he's getting some decent hits in here.
Down to 11. But compared to 694, that's pretty
Yeah.
a lot lower And another poison will
Yep.
bring it down to 400.
Good placement on that Mega Minion to keep it outside of the poison range there. Get a lot of damage in on the Giant, and takes out the Dark Prince as well.
2 minutes, and all you need is 2 more poison directly to the tower. And Expo Master keeping the same cycle. Lampo does need to change up a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to have to find something else, because this next push could be it. He's got the Giant and the Electro Wizard, the poison Surly coming down.
Lampo doesn't really have his own units to push in like the Giant. All he has is few spells.
Oh, if that Dark Prince gets one hit, it's definitely over. The Golem in the way. The Giant's coming, and there it is. Expo Master wins game 1 of the Ace match.
Once it came down to the bans, and what Lampo was kind of expecting was maybe a Golem. Maybe some of the miners, because he was trying to activate the King Tower with the Tornado as well.
Yeah.
Expo Master bringing something that he has not been really using too much, a double Prince deck.
Yeah, really smart by Expo Master here. Not changing up his style, sticking with his guns, banning the pump in that sense. And that kind of throws Lampo off, right? Lampo's like, well, he saw what I did. Why isn't he trying to adjust that? Why isn't he trying to counter that? And like you said, he comes out and brings out a completely different deck, the Double Princes.
Oh man, this Ace match is getting better and better. 1-0 for Expo Master. He could bring the win to the team with just one more. Right now, that's the face we've been seeing so all the time from Expo Master and Lampo. Down 0-1. Let's see how we can actually come back into the series.
Yeah, I think Lampo here, I mean, don't you feel like he's going to go Expo? Doesn't he just like kind of feel like he's like got to go like, he's like, okay, I just lost that. I got to go something comfortable. But then if Expo Master is expecting that, what do you expect Expo Master to play if he thinks Lampo is going to go?
That's the
Expo?
thing. I don't think so. I don't think so because of course they called the timeout, and after seeing the Giant, which is the biggest counter against the Expo and the Mortal, and did work out okay in the first game too, but against the Double Prince, which charges in super quickly and also pushes the Giant as well.
Yeah.
It's not the best strategy of the deck that you would try to do after losing to that deck in game 1, so I think Lampo will come up with something else, like maybe the air this time.
Yeah, that's a good point. An air deck would be quite good here. It does really well against Double Prince, or even just Giant decks in general. Most Giant decks, you're not going to run a Giant with like Lava Hound. You might run Giant Balloon. That's a pretty strong deck.
Oh yes.
And you can follow it up with Rage or something like that.
So I think Lampo needs to make sure maybe just having an Inferno Dragon in there somewhere in the deck, just to make sure if there's anything heavy again from Expo Master like the Giant or even a P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, because I think Lampo ran an Inferno Dragon in Game 2 when he ran the Mortar. Did he run an Inferno Dragon? Yes,
he did.
In Game 2, right?
Or
when he ran,
was it
Baby Dragon?
Or was it Game 1 with the Skeleton Barrels? Either one he did.
Either one he ran it before.
He did, yes.
And you're right. Because what his problem in that last game was he had to expend so much elixir to kite that Giant around, right?
Oh,
he had to put down the Graveyard. He had to put down a Tornado. He had to throw down Executioner, right? All these things are coming down. And in the meantime, Expo Master can just throw down some poison and rack up some serious value.
He was winning the elixir trade overall within just every single time he attacked. He was winning the trade and also winning the damage as well. So by trade value, Expo Master was chipping down all the time. 5 minutes in, it was game over.
So here we go. Big Sai here. He's ready. This is the match that could determine it all. If Expo Master can win, it will be another win for Korea and Kingzone Dragons. Kingzone Dragon X.
Team name is quite long, but it is also super cool at the same time.
This is something sometimes with these esports team names that I really struggle with. Like here in Korea, Bond Spirit Gaming. What?
Yeah.
Shorten
Bond Spirit
it.
Gaming Luna, yes.
Shorten
even
it,
more,
please.
Even more. Well, that's why we have kicks.
I love Kicks. They're for kids. Did you ever have that cereal, Kicks, when you were in America? You just missed my reference.
Tricks.
Oh, Tricks are for kids. Wait,
yes.
it was Tricks. You're right.
Kids.
Oh, I'm wrong.
I watched enough Nickelodeon for me. I was a big SpongeBob fan.
My childhood was sad. I really liked Kicks though. I liked plain cereals. But okay, so Expo Master, in fact, bringing the air here.
But against the Mortal, that's a big problem. No ground units to defend.
Okay, he's got the flying machine here to do some damage with the log. So
2 straight shots in.
okay, so not bad. What does Lampo have?
He's willing to sacrifice the time. Great fireball.
Okay, but here comes the miner. So
Let's look at the trade. Who does better?
now we've seen the well-played BM before. Oh, and the minion horde comes down here, but it's got to fight those other minions first. Coming in, does Expo Master have an answer for the minion horde?
Lampo does win overall with the trade and the damage. He does cycle in. We saw lots of Korean players using this last weekend with the minion horde just taking out the tower straight up.
Yeah, a really nasty combo that can just melt towers. That minion horde, if they get anywhere near a tower, it is super dangerous. Okay, a nice job to protect his mortar here with the Ice
Expo Master
Golem.
actually does have the tombstone. Could be a nice way to drag all the damage source. Even the flying machine does 3 damage, and will do quite a lot of damage to the tower as well, but the bat's just in time.
Yep, here comes the miner. Okay, a log is all he has to answer that. And, okay, now the minions. Bat getting a couple hits in here. Here comes the mortar.
Okay, the tombstone just in time to get that damage
Oh,
out.
but they attacked that skeleton and missed it. He's got to protect it, though. Okay, here comes his minion horde with a fireball.
He was waiting for that minion horde. That's the perfect timing, and Expo Master will continue his push with another Lava Hound very soon.
Yep. Oh.
But then Lampo just not giving his chance to cycle up his elixir to build that Lava Hound down.
Yeah, Lampo doing a really good job just keeping that miner, keeping the pressure on, following it up with bats. Or you can follow it up with minion horde. Both really strong combos behind the miner.
Make sure your flying machine do massive damage, getting some value. All the small units will be just one-shotted by the flying machine, but miner is continuing to do damage. Down below, just 415.
415, all right.
But
So
still, the Lava Hound is way too slow.
way too slow. The Lava Hound is going to have to do a ton of damage. He's going to have to find a way to defend against that next miner push that's coming very shortly. He's got the Guardians up front. Here comes that miner log. One time, buying himself a little bit of time. 159, so not within zap range.
And Moro will
the balloon!
just finish.
Oh.
Balloon way too late. I knew Expo Master was holding something for the last second, but it was way too late. No ground units means that Moro will get straight shot to the tower.
Right. That's a really good point. He had to save up for that balloon, and that's what allowed that mortar to get to the tower.
Yeah, Lampa knew that he only saw 7 cards. I need to see one more card. I don't know what it is, but it must be something strong, something heavy, or something groundbreaking that the Expo Master will take the win. That's his playstyle.
Yeah.
He hides 1 or 2 cards, like the P.E.K.K.A., like the balloon, as you just saw, and breaks it into the last few seconds of the game, and then just takes the win just like that. Lampo, before that happening, gave no chance. Make sure he just pumps everything into the bridge.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of versatility out of Lampo. He's able to play the Expo style. We saw that work very well. He can do multiple different kinds of cycle decks. He could do multiple different kind of mortar decks. You know, Mortar Expo. This time it's more of a mortar cycle deck, right? This is really interesting stuff. He has a lot of tricks up his sleeve that aren't super common in the meta right now.
Yep, Lampo does have a high understanding how he can trade against the super heavy push. The moment you see the Golem or the Lava Hound dropped out all the way in the back, sometimes you panic. Oh, do I have the cards to defend?
Yeah.
But one of the best ways is actually to force all the unit, to deploy all the units that you have in the hands, and then make sure to just go straight to the other side. And maybe you will get a better trade at the end of it, just like how Lampo did.
Yeah.
And Expo Master, he was really losing the elixir. He was never having enough to have the Lava Hound and the balloon, because Lampo was just spamming everything, making sure Expo Master uses that tombstone, uses the guards to defend all the time.
Right, and he had to keep that fireball in the chamber for that minion horde, so he wasn't able to do something like maybe fireball the mortar when he drops like the goblin gang on it or something like that. He had to save it for the minion horde. He had no choice, because if that minion horde gets anywhere near those towers, it's just game over.
Oh yes, and this will be the final game, not just between these 2 players here, for the entire team. The winner takes the victory for the team and themselves.
Okay, we've got the Dark Prince. We don't know for sure if it's Double Prince yet. It worked once. Might as well try it again.
It may just be the same deck from Lampo and the same one from Game 1 from Expo Master.
Yeah.
Which should be better encounter for Expo Master with Double Prince and the Giant.
Yeah. definitely will be able to defend a lot better. Yep, double Prince.
Yeah. It's pretty sure he has that giant in his hand, just waiting for that.
Oh, great
Perfect.
timing on that minion horde, though.
Was,
Arrows this time.
He did have the arrows. That's why he was placing the giant. I was saying, why is he dropping down that giant when there's a minion horde? He only has a zap. Arrow was the difference.
Wow. A really smart pickup from Expo Master here. Getting those arrows much more cost efficient than Fireball.
So Lampo just saying, oh, what am I going to do now? So basically, he has to hold that minion horde. Every single time he drops that down to the arena, he will be losing Elixir trade.
Yeah, he's got to find a way to make Expo Master use those arrows on something like the Goblin Gang, but I don't see that he ever needs to. He's got the Dark Prince in reserve for defense against it. He's got Electro Wizard for defense against it. Really, those arrows are solely for that minion horde.
Look at that giant.
Yep.
Minion horde just waiting. Expo Master holding in that arrow already.
Yeah, trying to get the timing. Here come the arrows.
Yes.
He has to do what he can with them. Okay, that's the proper follow-up there. The Goblin Gang right behind it. There's no Dark Prince or no Electro Wizard there to kind of mess with the Goblin Gang.
The Mortal just doing some damage to the giant, not really getting that connected with the tower. And Expo Master is off to a very good cycle right now. Can Lampo change this up? Did he actually change nothing from game 2?
Yeah, this is the exact same deck.
Oh, does connect to the tower, actually.
Oh.
Drops down a second too late onto the giant.
Oh, wow.
2 massive hits.
Expo Master
3.
a little frustrated with that.
4.
That is so much damage. A zap coming in. Ice Golem to distract the units. Spear Goblins doing so much damage. Here are the minions again. Whoa, Lampo really getting it done. A nice job defending that push and turning the tables a little bit. Miner coming down. Prince doing a little damage to it.
But misplacing the Prince as well. Expo Master losing his calm a little bit down. Lampo taking a massive lead for now.
Yeah, good job splitting those goblins. Makes it really hard for the Prince to do his thing. Okay, defensive mortar.
Yes, early giant as well from Expo Master, thinking that he really needs to. And the poison with the arrow.
Oh,
Man,
that's
Lampo.
huge.
So he can't really drop any small units.
No, this has become much more difficult for Lampo now.
Okay, does take the damage from Prince, but gets a few shots onto the tower himself.
Lampo's just going to have to find ways to be tricky with that miner to get through. He can no longer really get to the tower with any other unit. He's not going to be able to use the mortar offensively unless there's some kind of weird timing with the cycling that happens.
He got lucky with the mortar landing right on straight to the tower.
Yeah.
But unless that happens, which is very unlikely, he may not have a winning condition. I think Lampo just wanted to go into defensive mode.
Yep.
Still holding on to the last card, though.
Yeah, you're right. We don't know. There's still another wrinkle in Lampo's deck that we haven't seen yet. I'm curious to see what it is, actually. He hasn't needed to use it.
Zap for clear. This is a lot more heavy. The giant is still very healthy, so the miner, even as a defensive tool, Prince comes right along with the Dark Prince.
Is it maybe something like Rocket? Is he sitting on a Rocket?
Maybe just to finish off.
Yeah. Ooh.
Can still be an Expo as well.
That's true. It could be the Expo here.
But no spell yet to be seen from Lampo, just having all the units.
Right, he's got to find timing.
Oh, that arrow getting massive value. Not just the minion horde.
Oh, that zap comes down as well.
Giant landing punches after punches on this tower. Even the Dark Prince going straight in, not going to be just in time. 9:45 now.
Whew. Expo Master gets a nice trade there.
Only 1 minute, though.
Yeah, and they're very even, though, on tower damage. 945 for Lampo, 1,000 for Expo Master on that left side. So, okay, here comes the miner. He doesn't have an answer exactly for it. He's getting some good damage from the miner here. He's trying to find a counter to it. That miner just chipping away.
But he was willing to take that damage. He saw the last card was the zap. No real hard spell damage like the rocket or the fireball, so he wants to push on his own. 523 with a poison. 35 seconds.
Getting aggressive
this
here.
may be possible for Expo to finish off.
Oh my gosh, he has to get in with this giant.
Only the bat.
Oh
and
no!
He may be lost in one hit. A few more punches. That's going to be it. The end. The Expo Master takes the game and the win for the team of Kings on Dragon X.
Wow. What exciting series we had between those two players. Just wild. Essentially, they went 3-3. Right? Lampo won the first 2 games. Then Expo Master won. Then Lampo won. Then Expo Master won. So they went 3-3. But Lampo comes out ahead overall, taking the ace match in exciting fashion. That game was so close.
That was close.
We still don't know what that last card Lampo had was.
Zap.
It was Zap.
It was a Zap.
Okay.
And then Expo Master was holding because he knew that there was a card missing. It may just be a rocket.
Yeah.
So after seeing the Zap, he thought, okay, I know the last card. It's not the rocket, so I can actually take the damage from the miner. I can actually focus on my own attack, which actually won with. So waiting until the final card was the winning decision for Expo Master, I would say.
Right. Yeah, really interesting stuff here. This is game 1, where we saw the double prince the first time. And threw Lampo off a little bit the first time. I don't think he was quite expecting that.
Lots of emotes between these players, just enjoying the game as well.
Yeah, here we go. Still game 1. It says The Rock up in the top left, but it's not. It's Lampo here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Man, I don't know what's up.
I just noticed that.
Oh yeah, now it's
Lampo. Okay,
sure.
now we got it.
And this Lava Hound push didn't really work quite well against the Moro, against lots of ground units.
No. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Lampo just wasn't quite ready to play against the double prince from Expo Master. It wasn't something, like you said, that we've seen really him do.
Yeah, just understanding the power of Lava Hound. It must be followed up with something, maybe even a clone.
Yeah.
Just making sure you spam enough. There's no extra unit behind that Lava Hound for Expo Master to follow up.
Right, and that arrow is such a great pickup for Expo Master. You get so much value out of them when you take out those minion hordes.
Just changed up the log with the arrow. Just after watching so many goblins, he's gonna use a lot of cheap units. So arrow with the huge radius, just picking up all the kills.
Yeah, just a really exciting game there. Lampo had him a little bit on the ropes. Look, he was down to 552 before this final push come in. So Lampo almost getting him, but that Zap not quite being the right key card that he needed there.
Oh, yes. It's not enough damage, and Bats, he was low on elixir, could not really stop the giant.
Right.
Going straight in. And look at this massive emote. Oh, PM. Please.
好的，那现在是来到了赛后访问时间，我是
Let's go to the interview.
那一样是要先恭喜 Kingdom Dragons 成功了赢下了这场的比赛。
네, 일단은 축하드립니다.
Congrats, Kingdom Dragon X, with your win.
谢谢。
是的，那这边想问一下的是，就你们在比赛前是要怎么看待这场的？因为你们赢下这场之后，好像在韩国就可以立于第1名的位置了。
이번 경기 승리를 하셨으니까 지금 한국 팀 중에서 1등을 차지하고 있잖아요. 그래서
currently
게임
first
하기 전에 이 게임을 위해서
Korean
특별히
standings.
준비를 하셨나요?
How did you prepare for this matchup?
일단 딱히 준비한 건 없고 저희가 늘 하던 대로 연습했습니다.
Didn't really
其实
prepare
他们也没有特别
specifically
的
for
准
this
备，
matchup.
那
We
就
just
是
did
跟
what we
平
were
常一样的
always
练习。
doing. All the same
是的，
practice.
那另外想要问一下，是在前面的对决的时候，就 Asmo Master 对上 Lampo 的比赛，那 Lampo 在第一个 set 发挥非常好，不知道那个时候 Asmo Master 当下的一个想法是什么呢？
네, 사실 첫 번째 경기를 하실 때도 그 램퍼라는 선수를 같이 대결을 하셨잖아요. 근데 램퍼를 너무 잘하셔서 그때는 승리를 하지
First matchup
못하셨어요.
against Lampo,
그때 소감은
and he was really good.
어떠셨어요?
How did you feel after losing the first set?
일단 램포 선수가 저희가 그 데이터가 하나도 없어가지고
Lampo, we had no
제가
data on him.
너무 좀 불리한 입장이었는데 그래도 애결해서 이겨서 기분 좋아요.
But
其
still,
实因为他们
after
就是
the ace
램퍼
match,
选手
I
他本身没有太多的
so
数
glad
据
that I
可以
won.
提
I
供给
was
他
able
们
to
参
take
考，所以一开始遇上
the game
램퍼 的
off
时
of
候
it.
就是会不晓得该怎么办才好。那第二次就是对决的时候就赢了，所以觉得很开心。
好的，那接下来想问的是，就一个怎么讲呢？就是对手通常会 ban 掉 Aspo，但对手没有 ban 掉 Aspo 的时候，那 Asmo Master 一样是没有拿出来使用，是为什么呢？
엑스포 마스터 선수는 원래 엑스포를 사용 하는 게는 유명을 해줘서 엑스포를
So Master, you're
하시는
really
거잖아요. 근데 그래서
well known
항상
for using Expo
3팀이
Master.
다 엑스포를 뺐는데 이번에 뺀지 않았는데도
everyone else
사용하지
banned
않은
the Expo
이유는
against him, but Lampo did not.
일단 석궁을 밴하지 않았다는 건 석궁을 밴할 아니 석궁을 카운터 칠 의도가 있다는 걸로 생각돼가지고
I was
사용하지
predicting
않았습니다.
that Expo
因为
without
他
banning
觉得
it.
这一次的对
I
手
was
没
kind
有
of
把
guessing
这
that he
个
was
就
going to
是
use it
X
as
联
well
攻 ban
for
掉的
trying
原
to
因，一
count
定是因为他
counter
们有
my
针
own
对
Expo
X 联
deck.
攻的特别的战略，
So
所以
I
他就
had
不
that
选
all
择
in plan.
X 联攻来使用了。
好的，那接下来问一下最后一个问题喽。我想问一下，就是你们团队在2v2的就2对2的对决里面，你们练习的时间会占可能比1v1来的更多吗？或者是说其实差不多的呢？
마지막 질문인데요. 평상시를 연습하실 때 2대1 경기를 더 많이 연습하신지 아니면 1대1 더 많이
You guys practice
연습하세요?
more 2v2s or 1v1s?
저희 팀은 1대1은 제가 거의 나왔기 때문에 1대1 연습보다는 2대1 연습을
Our team, I do most of the
90% 정도
1v1,
하는 것
so
같아요.
we focus on 2v2 a little bit
因为
more.
他们队伍的话1比1几乎都是由 Expo 来出战，然后因此其他的选手们大概90%以上的时间都是在练习2比2。
对，确实看来2v2是非常花时间的哦。好的，那一样是感谢在 Kino Dragon S 来接受我们这次的一个赛后采访，也是恭喜他们获得最后的胜利。
다시 인터뷰 감사드리고 그리고 경기 승리하는 것은 또 다시 축하드립니다.
Thanks for the interview and
谢谢。
congratulations
Hold
on
on,
your win. That was the final one from the MC. Look at that. Expo Master just back onto his feet after that dominating 2-0. Says, oh, gotta get it to ace match. And he brought the win for the team.
Yeah, it didn't seem to phase him too much. He said, we didn't have any data on Lampo
Oh,
really.
yes.
So they didn't know exactly what to expect, but it looks like he kind of got a feel for him after those first two matches. Kind of knew what he needed to bring against it. Thought about it. You know, I could kind of tell he had that smile on his face. He's like, okay, I know what this is. I've seen this. I know
Yes.
what to do. You know, I've played Clash Royale for a long time.
Yeah.
Turns out.
That was surely the right port. Lots of experience came down, but match 2, not sober. Surely Queen teams are winning on a winning streak. Can Southeast Asia come back from this? And I think we have the final match coming right up very soon. We'll be back right away. Welcome back. We had the matchup between Kings and Dragon X and Kicks, but we have one more match left to go. It is going to be OG and Entus versus Chaos Theory. And both teams actually needs a win right now. They are off to their last strings.
Yeah, they're both kind of down in the rankings versus the other teams in their region. So a desperate win needed for both of these teams. Kingzone, Dragon X, I love their name. Kingzone, Dragon X, solidifying themselves as kind of the top Korean team here.
Oh,
it's
yes.
going to be, I think, basically impossible for anyone to catch them at this point.
I think Sandbox is possible, but other than Sandbox,
that's right.
both OPGG and OG and Entus cannot catch up to them because this is their final weekend.
Right.
And we only have the day tomorrow and only 2 matches instead of 3 because we have 8 matches per weekend. And I don't think it's possible for them to be caught by OG and Entus or OPGG, but Sandbox still possible.
Yeah, Sandbox could still. You're right. Sandbox still has a possibility, but OGN fighting for that wild card spot here. Their 4 members: Q Mills, Astro, Quesera. That's Quesera. I want to say that because that's an actually a phrase in
phrase, a popular
Spanish.
Phrase.
Yeah.
Quesera, yes.
But Quesada here. There they are, waving, wearing those OGN Entus uniforms that we see all across OGN Entus Esports.
Oh yes.
I like those. Yeah.
And yesterday had a very long match against Brand Esports and came up with a win. So continuing with the 5-0 Korean win streak this weekend, Chaos Theory down at the bottom so far. They're only having 2-6 and at the 12th place, but still can actually climb all the way up if they win everything from now on.
Right. So most of the players on this team from the Philippines, correct?
And one
And
from
one
New York.
From New York.
Yes, suddenly. And you can basically tell who's from New York just from watching the screen.
So, an exciting matchup here. JTV, a player that I've been kind of looking at when he kind of stood out to me a little bit because he's done well in 1v1.
Oh yes.
He wins a lot. Usually goes 2-1. He beat Jacques from AHQ. So he's a solid 1v1 player.
Yes, for the team. And Cumulus, we had to talk about ace match yesterday against Brand Esports. He was the one to beat Noam Sai. It was a close matchup, but for now, because Chaos Theory, great team of players. And actually, when they came down to Korea at OGN, we did get to talk to them a little bit, and they were very happy and excited to go home and away, go to Japan, go to Korea, and to meet all the players offline at the venue.
Yeah.
And play some exciting Clash Royale. They're just having fun, even though they're down 2-6. Still possible because their region, the best team right now, AHQ even dropped the first match, so 4-4. So even with a 2-6, it is still possible to go into at least 2nd place.
Yeah, they could do this. I mean, it's very possible. So they've got something to fight for sure. Of course, here we have our first player, Q Mills, from OGN Entus. I called them OGN Entus Ace, didn't I?
No, just OG and Entus. Actually, against Brand Esports, it was many Knoxville instead of knowing. So
there are so many OGN teams, I get them a little mixed up
OGN,
sometimes. They're
so
everywhere.
Strong in esports everywhere, and we're going to have JTB as you predicted. He is going to be the one, and JTB actually has 6-3, 3 wins in sets in 1v1, so 100% win rate so far. If you talk about the sets,
Yeah.
you have the bands.
Yeah, really impressive. Kind of the anchor of this team, it seems like. I'll be curious to see. Oh, okay, so we don't want that Lava Hound. Not today. And Tornado, a pretty standard ban there. You see that quite often. Nobody likes Tornado.
Surely not in 2v2. Maybe
Definitely
1v1,
not.
but surely not in 2v2.
Right. So, all right. What do we think here? They're banning Lava Hound, so they don't want to go against any of these like air heavy decks that we occasionally see here. And some teams have had a little bit of success. We saw the Lava Loon be pulled out early on today and do quite well.
Yeah, do want to check out that JTB has been banning Tornado for 1v1 all the time. 6 times and make this 7th time. So all of his games, he has been banning Tornado only. Must be a reason because he does like lots of the heavy pushes, especially the golden, but sometimes even having the spell bait decks.
Right. Well, yeah, if you run something heavy, Tornado's definitely one of those cards that you just don't want to see. It just buys too much time. And, you know, it allows the Princess Tower to do so much more damage, and, you know, you can do things like kite the unit all the way across the map, right? Like if you throw down a graveyard, right, and you can Tornado that unit into that graveyard, for example. And that just completely changes the direction. In fact, you can have both Princess Towers shooting at the same unit at the same time if you do it right. So, yeah.
And for the Lava Hound ban from Cumulus, I was thinking maybe it's against JTB, but from understanding what JTB has been playing, not much Lava Hound, but Cumulus, it's his own thing where he banned Lava Hound twice already. It must be a card that he doesn't really want to face against. That's what he's thinking.
He just must not like to run decks that require a lot of air attacking ability. You know, things like Musketeer, or maybe these days, you know, maybe a Wizard or something like that you could see, or, you know, minions, you know, things like that that just do a lot of damage to air units. So he prefers to stay on the ground.
That is certainly possible. And what we have from Cumulus, he was playing lots of the minor, the small, the quick ones, minor poison, of course, the solid combo with the Tombstone. That's the one of the most common decks from Korea, you would say. Not really liking to play any of the new Rascals or the Valkyrie. Should come in any of the time. It can still come in right on today, but he's not the player that would go into the newer ones and really follow up with the latest meta and come up with a new deck, but still just playing the solid old ones where he has the most experience for.
Right. And we saw Expo Master in the last game pull out something new, different than what we see a lot in the Korean meta. So maybe they watched that and thought, maybe we can do that too. Hard to say. Or that, you know, but you got to go with what you're comfortable with at least one time. You got to at least try what your comfort zone is. You know, most players, you know, you have, you know, 3 or 4 decks that you're just really solid with, and some minor variations on those decks. So most likely you're gonna fall into your comfort zone when you're picking these things. And both players kind of, again, of course, JTB banning Tornado again, so we'll see probably just his standard play. But let's see what we got out of Q-Mills here.
Yep, Q-Mills, of course, his favorite deck. Oh, of course. But it was with the Tornado and Log. With Tornado being banned, he has to come up with something else other than his favorite Log poison combo with the Mega Minion. Even the Graveyard sometimes in here.
Ah, okay. We've been seeing that Graveyard poison combo a lot today, but hasn't been super effective.
The game is ready. We're slowly fading out. That's the signal that we're going into game number 1 here. Between Q-Mills and JTB on top in red, Q-Mills down in the bottom, blue. No Lava Hound, which means maybe no Balloon either.
Yeah, the only other way you really ever see Balloon used is behind a Giant, and then they have like a Lumberjack or Rage following it up, and you can kind of get something going there.
Just a sudden Balloon.
But you would wait until the 1 minute mark, until sudden death to pull that out. Those decks, you don't, like if I play against those decks online, they usually drop the Giant, and then they just kind of do some other stuff.
Oh, yes.
And then at the end, all of a sudden, they're like Giant, Balloon, Rage, and then I'm like, oh, I was not ready for that.
You need to make sure you have the perfect counter defense or your own attack.
Right.
That would do at least the same amount of damage. So you get a good trade off of that. Both players waiting.
Okay.
There's their favorite Tombstone.
Yeah. The minions. Just splitting them out. Zaps them. Okay.
So much damage onto the tower.
Doing so much damage.
Oh,
Oh, there it
Balloon.
is!
Already with the Miner.
Okay,
Straight
Balloon
in.
Miner. Oh, this is going to be tough. Mega Minion.
Mega Knight dropping on
Mega
top.
Minion.
But
Mega Knight.
no defense against the Balloon, though. 2 and
Oh, he has a balloon.
For Q-Mills. Dropping 3, that's a tower down. He does have the Hunter. That's a major difference.
Oh, but look at this. The Mega Knight getting kited over to the other side as well.
But Q-Mills still much better of a trade. He got the entire tower down from a balloon.
Yeah, watch this. The Mega Knight's about to jump onto this. Oh, he just misses the graveyard there. I thought maybe with the extra splash damage he might catch it. Wow. Really nice play here by Q-Mills. Both teams surprising each other with those balloons.
It was a big risk. I can't really criticize, but it was a huge risk to actually play that Miner balloon because he was just trying to have that down. Okay, he already used the minions and the Mega Minion. Maybe he doesn't have anything anti-air too much. Let me just try it.
Yeah. Well, and it turned out that, yeah, JTV did not have too much anti-air there. This is maybe why he banned the Lava Hound, to trick JTV into thinking that he wasn't going to run an air deck.
Oh,
and
yes,
instead,
certainly.
And here comes JTV's balloon now.
With the giant push. With the Mega Knight doing some damage.
The Hunter behind it really just kind of doing sneaky amounts of
Oh.
damage there.
Pulls in with the Fireball to connect with the explosion damage from the balloon. Nicely done from
Oh.
JTV.
Yeah, great Fireball there. He's got the tower down to 1,000, and he's got him pressured right now. The Mega Knight doing a lot of damage, but good zap there. But he's kiting it back with the Ice Golem and the Graveyard, making it so hard. This is just about over.
Another balloon though. 2 seconds. Not just in time, and Q-Mills takes a huge risk with his starting hand having the minor balloon. He waited some time, and he's risking that, but pays off greatly, taking the entire tower down.
Yeah, really interesting play there. And all that JTV had to answer was the Mega Knight. And he had the Mega Minion on the other side, and I thought, okay, what's going on over there? And then had he had that Mega Minion over there, he probably would have dropped that, but he had it on the other side first.
Yeah, even just the minions.
Yeah, or the
Sometimes-
minions.
Sometimes if you just block the path of the balloon, it just takes him down before it gets to the tower.
Yeah, and think about this. JTV had already dropped the minions
Yes. And
as
the
well.
Mega Minion.
Yeah, and
right
the Mega
before.
Minion. Yeah,
So think about the chances having anti-air right after those two cards. Very unlikely.
very unlikely.
Yes. So Kumi is just having a great understanding what the opponent is holding at the moment.
Yeah. At that point, the most anti-air he has is like a Fireball or like maybe E-Wiz?
Maybe like an Inferno Dragon or
Inferno
something?
Dragon? Yeah.
But after watching those two, took a, I guess, very educated guess that he had the great chance with the balloon, just taking the entire tower down with the miner. And 3 shots off the balloon, just the tower gone with the explosion right after.
And that's a great combo right there. Kind of similar to the miner minion horde.
Yes, exactly.
It's you throw that miner out and then you throw the balloon, and then the miner's soaking that damage, and if you don't deal with it and you deal with the balloon instead, the miner's going to get quite a bit of chip damage in. So that's 8 elixir you spend to do that, and if they are at an elixir disadvantage already, it's almost impossible for them to counter that without taking severe damage to their princess
Possibly the best counter could be just the fireball. So
Yeah.
If you catch everything, the horde and the miner.
tower. Yeah.
Of course, miner will be doing some damage, but still very low after the
Yeah.
fireball hit.
But what do you do against the balloon there?
I know.
That's
Fireball is not enough, for sure not enough to take the balloon down.
Yeah.
Just lost the starting hand. Very good risk. Kumio's just understanding the game. Yes. Took a chance. JTB also had the balloon to follow up right after.
Yeah.
A little bit too late.
Little too late. Yeah. A little too late on that. I mean, if he had the minions and the Mega Minion in his hand, he could have countered that miner balloon. Because you can throw the minions down. They'll take out the balloon before it can get a hit in. It'll get the bomb to the tower, but it won't allow the the balloon to actually do damage to the tower itself. And then you can use the Mega Minion on the miner, and it pretty much nullifies it.
That one, game number 1.
Fast and furious there.
Fast and Furious for sure. Not just I can't really say a mistake by
No.
JTB, but Kumio's just outplaying the cards.
Yeah.
Reading the deck, what it's going to be.
Yep.
Coming up very soon, and JTB just lost the game 1 because of that. Game 2 underway for you guys.
So, how will they adjust? Will somebody still try to use the balloon and just kind of make you think that you're going to change and not? Because there's no... Okay, Princess.
May just be Rascals. Dropping that poison early, making sure that Kumio's, after looking at that Princess.
Are we going to see a log bait deck
Yeah,
here?
very likely with the barrel. No tornado either, so
Yeah, this is looking like log bait.
perfect chance for you to have the log bait.
Yep, here we go. Ooh, a nice timed log there.
Yeah, splash is right on top of those faces.
Those
Why are-
goblins never saw it
Why are
coming.
you in the barrel? Just go up to the karaoke night.
Okay, Graveyard coming down, so Graveyard poison.
Valkyrie though.
Ooh, Valkyrie, a great counter to this.
Oh yes, certainly. And And she will survive through the poison as well.
Yeah, she doesn't take too much damage from the poison.
Uh-huh.
Over 1,000 hit points for the Valkyrie. She can really soak. She's sneakily tanky.
Oh, Valkyrie as a response at the same time.
Oh,
Misses that one goblin.
one goblin.
3 stabs onto the tower, so that's okay, I would say.
Yeah, not terrible.
Uh-huh.
He got a few hits in himself. A little bit of an advantage Q Mills on that trade. But JTV not too much worse for the wear. Okay, nice job putting that Valkyrie in front of his princess to keep it alive.
We'll do some damage as Valkyrie will take her out. At the same time, the real problem is, no log coming down for this barrel.
Great timing on that barrel. Q Mills didn't have a lot of elixir there.
Barrel out from JTB for that Valkyrie to be pushed all the way down. Kumil saving that poison, and that was for the graveyard
Yeah.
to have the maximum push, but Valkyrie's already there with the Ice Spirit as well.
Okay, so trying to bait out the Valkyrie here. So, okay, there comes the poison now to take out the Goblin Gang.
Valkyrie will survive, still pretty healthy.
Mega
The
Minion
barrel.
hits like a truck, though, so Valkyrie's not going to get too far. Oh,
Even
Rocket.
the rocket. Making sure JTB, he soaks in some more damage because it seems like this game is going for a long time.
Yeah, looks like Q Mills has a little bit of an advantage here.
Uh-huh.
He's got that one tower down to about
A little bit of
1,100.
advantage, but he's not really focusing on to one tower. And
Yeah.
it seems like we are going down to one tower.
That's
game.
true, and JTV is able to push down this one tower. Oh, he has to
Uh-huh.
use the rocket defensively, though.
And this poison with the graveyard. Valkyrie is already there, but Skeleton's landing few hits. Oh, great Ice Golem.
Yes, that was really
Blocked
good.
most of the damage.
Yeah, really well-timed Ice Golem and well-placed to predict where those goblins were going to be.
The reason why Q-Meals has been doing off damage to 2 towers is because of that Princess always off to the other side.
Right, okay, so Inferno Dragon, our last card from Q Mills here.
He needs to make something happen. Down to 512, which means a little more damage with the rocket would just finish off.
This is very even all of a sudden. If this Inferno...
7.
Oh, he just gets that Valkyrie down in time.
650. JTB, I think he just has it with the log and the rocket. Should be very close to be a finish. There's a rocket.
Graveyard Poison coming. Will it be in time? Does he have the log? He has his
damage.
own log.
Graveyard.
Here comes the other
The
log.
timing was
Oh!
so- the skeletons! So quick, so small with low damage, but when you stack those up, what a finish!
My goodness.
And I saw the face of Q-Mills. He didn't even move.
Yeah.
He didn't even blink. He's trusting in his play, the graveyard. He knew that the log cycle was going to be slower than his graveyard.
Yeah, JTV there really pumped after that win. He threw up both fists in the air. He was so happy about that. That was
Wow.
awesome. I mean, what, 60 hit points
80,
left?
I think.
80 on whatever. A log takes that down either way. Woo! That was a fun game.
Oh, what a great ending. Q-Mills just having it down 2-0, and then he just sits like this. Graveyard. I'm done. I'm walking away.
he knew.
No emotions in his face.
He just knew, man. He just knew.
He's understanding the crazy cycles from the game. And JTB just used the log defensively like 7-8 seconds before.
Right.
Before the rocket came down. So Q-Mills, he kind of knew that if he placed the graveyard fast enough, let's look at this. Log was just used right before the rocket.
So look at this. Yeah, he throws down his
Log
own
is
log as
coming.
well. Oh my
The
gosh.
skeleton.
Oh, and those fists. You can see
Oh,
he's so
man.
upset. JTV is throwing those fists up. Like I
Mhm.
said, oh my god. He just was. He was mad. That was so close.
That
I
was
would
insanely close.
I'd be mad too.
We all have those kind of game where you have less than like 3 HP on the tower, and sometimes you just run out of time. You end up in a draw, or you're just a second too late on the damage, and you lose the race, and that's how you feel. Q-Mills just comfortably just standing right there, and then bringing the game for OG and Entus as Chaos Theory. Oh, this is a big problem. JTB has been winning a lot of the 1v1s, but he dropped the 1v1, and
Right.
their main problem is a 2v2.
Right. So they're switching it up a little bit today. Maybe. I think. Astro and Quesada
Uh-huh.
should be our duo for OG and Entus. But let's see. Chaos Theory might change it up a little bit today with their duo, since they haven't, like you said, had a lot of success. They have a pretty abysmal record, to be honest, in 2v2.
Astro and Q-Mills was the one that played a lot together. Even Q-Mills on how. This time it's going to be with Sarah. Not Casera, I keep on thinking.
I want to say it too because there's that saying in Spanish, right?
Uh-huh.
Quesera, quesera. What I think it means like what will be, or something like that. But Quesada.
It is his first time matching up with Astro. In fact, he only played with Hal once and had a 2-0 victory.
So Trainer Dexters and Ray Bagus here will be our duo for Chaos Theory.
The same for Chaos Theory. Wayback has only played with similar. Trainer Dexter's only having one pair up before. Usually it's Trainer Dexter's and JTB, but JTB was off to 1v1. So they had to make that switch in a way.
Yeah, looks like they lost the game that Ray Bagus played in the 2v2. So we'll see if they've got something new, something different. They might try something tricky. All right, so pretty standard bans here. Poison, Tornado.
Okay. 2 spell bans.
The usual.
Which means when we have these 2 banned, we have every other spell on their way, except for the graveyard sometimes.
Yeah.
And like the freeze, rage, except for the healing spell as well. If the more I think, I see a lot of other spells. The
Heal
rage,
is just, it's one of these spells
it
where
was,
I'm like,
it was played.
yes.
Was played, but didn't really have so much success. Believe it was 2. It was having synergy with the 3 Musketeers.
Of course, yeah. That's the most common that I see it with.
But we did see the Fireball and a Zap, just
Yeah.
destroying all of them.
No, it's just not enough. I mean, the 3 Musketeers are just so prone to Fireball.
Uh-huh.
It's just devastating to them. And if you have Fireball and Zap, it's even enough to get through the heal. The heal, because it ticks over time, it isn't like an instantaneous. If heal was instantaneous,
If it's instantaneous,
it'd be broken.
it will be broken. Yes, it will be broken.
But
Big area healing spell.
Oh, it would make stuff like it would make stuff like doing like you could heal the Hellions from the Lava Hound, right? And then you
man.
instantly heal all those.
That is actually not a bad strategy, but
It's okay if you do it. Actually, even now I've seen it work kind of, where they heal underneath the Lava Hound right before it's about to die, and then the Hellions can take a few extra hits.
but against all the other spells other than the Log and the Zap, will go down Arrow, Fireball.
Arrows insta-kill, yeah.
yeah.
If they have one of those insta-kill spells, but if they have something like Archers or a Musketeer, they can
yes.
actually last a little longer.
Could be a strategy, as Chaos Theory has been a team that with creativity. They were the first ones to bring in the Sparky into 1v1 as well.
Oh, now I'm really rooting for him.
Oh, yes. Even 2v2, they were having some massive crazy strategy. Didn't really work out too well.
Well, will they try a beatdown deck? Do they expect Q Mills to do a beatdown deck? You know, will they, like you said, I expect to see something unique out of them. I don't expect them to play anything standard like Lava Hound Clone or, you know, like Beatdown Golem or anything.
They were
like
having
that.
some like Golem with the P.E.K.K.A. as well, having lots of just a single Musketeer to back it up.
Right. Q Mills, they tend to run, it seems like, what's kind of standard in Korea 2v2 meta right now, just the Golem and the Princes and these kind of things. Little wrinkles in it here or there.
Also very spell heavy, as you can see.
Yeah, Rage. Rage makes me rage. That's that spell that just flips tables,
This
man.
Golem Prince, make sure they push and Rage to speed them up.
Yeah.
And make sure you get that value along with the poison to kill all the defensive units to make sure your attack is safely connecting with the towers.
Right. If you can combo all those things, it can be just so deadly. It can just snowball so fast if the other team isn't prepared for it. And they don't play around it. That's one thing with these spells. It's all about positioning, keeping your units away from your other units so they don't get clumped up and they can't get spelled at the same time. Especially with Rocket. If you can hit like 3 units with a Rocket, that's so much value.
And that's why the poison is so effective. That's why it was banned from OG and Endus. And without the Tornado either, I think there's a good chance, as you mentioned, that we're going to see that Rocket in play for for this 2v2 matchup.
Oh, we're about ready. We've got the headsets ready to go. I was thinking earlier when they were doing 1v1, I'm like, why do they need microphones? And I'm like, oh, of course, because they do 2v2 later. Just like thinking to myself, like, who's he talking to? Like,
just to make sure you have the same headphones.
Yeah, you might as well, right? You don't need to spend extra money. The headphone's a headphone.
Yeah, and those are very expensive.
Yeah.
Noise canceling headsets. And we are in 2v2. As for Casera in the blue bottom, way back as trainers next to it. It is going to be the barrel.
Oh, okay.
Because there's no tornado.
Right, no tornado, so the barrel's quite good. Princess here. That
So kind of what
range.
we kind of like what we saw from lots of the Japanese team previous week.
Right. And they're opting to use that fireball on the Princess, so they're willing to take that slight elixir disadvantage there to keep her out of play. Keep her off their smaller units. Looks like they're going to be running a pretty light deck compared to maybe, some other teams that we see.
Astro Casera is keeping it up. And look at that. This barrel continuing in the way.
Counter barrel coming.
Yeah, for both teams. Don't really see too many logs because they have lots of units to defend the Goblin Gang, the guards.
Yep.
Seems like they have very similar cards.
Yeah, both teams just played the guards.
Fireball over and over.
Fireball.
Goblin Gang.
This is going to come down to who can get a little more timing and a little bit better execution out of their barrels and their counter to the barrels. So here they have to use 2 Dark Goblins, which means they get quite a few hits at that Fireball.
Ooh. Woo. Taste that spiciness from that Fireball as well. It's pretty hot. Dark Goblin does not survive. I wonder what's behind the mask, though. How he looks like.
Yeah, why is he wearing a mask?
Just like a goblin?
He's a goblin. And I mean,
maybe he's uglier.
You know, you could just have the blow dart gun, right? You don't need the mask.
Just to make him unique. Yes. Just to make him unique.
Rascals, here we go. Now we're seeing something a little different. Log coming down.
Finally the log comes down for the girls.
Yep. So they've been waiting. They didn't want to use it on the barrel. The guards come down. Still getting some nice damage. Good fireball there.
A little worse of an elixir trade, but still, when you need it, you need to drop it.
Oh, that Valkyrie.
Yes, with the latest update. The first swing so much quicker.
She just explodes that goblin barrel.
Oh, Magic Archer.
Ooh.
Against the Princess, let's see who wins.
Well, it depends. The Magic Archer's...
It's not actually like, oh, activates the King Tower.
Oh
no.
Oh no.
Oh, what a bad.
Oh, that is not what they wanted there. That is not what they wanted. Oh, and the rocket coming down now.
See, I've told you sometimes the Magic Archer activates the King Tower in an accident, and this is what we see. Double the barrel, doing massive damage to the Tower 632.
Oh my god.
And the charge from the Prince, getting to 14. Oh, this could
Chaos.
be just done with any spell. They had the log as well.
They might have this. I don't know.
Even with activating the King Tower, I mean, their defense, their offense was good enough. They had the Fireball as well.
They got a rocket.
To finish it. Style points for Chaos Theory.
No, it's
it. Zap. And that's going to be it. I was waiting for some Fireball, you know, some heavy...
So a rocket or something?
Some style points to finish off.
Yeah.
But that activated the King Tower as well. I thought OG and Entus had a great chance after that moment, but double the barrel, not having the great placement.
Yeah, and they were able to really defend really well. I was really impressed with their Valkyrie placements. They were able to predict when the barrel would come in and where it would come in, and they were able to predict that it was going to be that front line barrel. When that barrel just drops all 3 goblins right in the front, they would just plop that Valkyrie down right away, get all the kills on those goblins before they could even attack. So some really great defense from them. A little bit of a misstep there with that Magic Archer, but able to pull it out in the end.
OJ calling for a timeout as they would love to finish this one. After a massive comeback into 2v2, they got the first set. Against a very similar barrel, Goblin Barrel, spell bait deck. I think OG and Entus was doing okay about Chaos Theory just having better timing read on the elixir. Oh, they don't have enough to defend. Let's just throw a barrel together.
Right. They did a really good job timing that. There were a couple times where OGN got caught out trying to do things. They had spent too much mana, and like you said, they threw those Goblin Barrels, and all they had was like an Ice Golem to throw in front of it. So that's really good.
And just making sure all the spells are also out, because once you throw double the barrel and a single log taking all the goblins out, all 6 of them,
Right.
then you'll be saying, oh, it's wasted 4 elixirs for 6 elixirs for 2, so minus that 4 elixirs for throwing those 2 barrels.
Right, and that's what it all comes down to in the end when you have very similar decks like that. Who can maximize their elixir efficiency the best?
Yeah, that's a good read. They have a very good 2v2. It's very surprising. Greyback's trainers, Dexers. Their barrel worked so well. What is OG and Entis going to bring this time? Sometimes we saw from even from Astro or Q-Mills, I believe, having some arrows in 2v2 didn't work greatly, especially against the minion horde. So far, just having goblin barrels back to back.
Yeah, it's not as efficient with arrows against the barrel. It's because if you have to time it perfectly so that they don't hit, and there is a little bit of travel time for the arrows. You can get some value out of the arrows if, for example, you catch them, with that barrel and maybe there's some units that are just about to hit at the same time, but that's not super likely. So at best it's an even elixir trade if you use arrows. At worst, you're losing that elixir advantage.
Oh yes, that's why we see a lot more logs.
Yeah.
Can also be a good counter against the Rascals, as we just saw in game 1. But once you use it against the Rascals, you can't really use it for the barrel right after.
Right.
So that's the spell bait deck we've been seeing so many times in competitive and on the ladder so many times.
Oh, I know.
Even in Grand Challenge, everywhere those Rascals are just being the bad boys and the bad girls. Underway. Game number 2. Let's see. Even with the timeout, can OG and Entis take those numbers back? Put some numbers on their set number 2 as they're down 0.
Yeah, this will be really interesting to see what their differences are. They're both just sitting here right now. We might go down to the sudden death mark before either team decides to play their cards.
That doesn't really happen for 2v2.
No.
But this may be like the first time. And suddenly you have a massive push of 20 elixirs plus this bridge spam.
Well,
race and see who wins.
Then I would expect to see. Okay, there's a zap. I would expect to see something like double lava hound, clone, or like something that's just going to get in there. Okay, here we go. Here comes the miner. We're not waiting. We're getting into it. Okay, so this looks like more what we're used to seeing out of. Ooh, balloon here with rage.
Let's go. Straight in. Electro Wizard already being
dropped. A nice fireball there.
It'll get stunned, but the freeze gets 1. May actually get 2 or more. Oh, the fireball just in time before the second one drops. Wow.
A nice push there. Using that freeze again today. Looking to be a really strong card. If you could catch teams like when they're clumped up and they aren't ready for it, freeze is just so brutal. Freeze is actually the card that probably makes me go the most crazy when I'm playing this game.
You do not really expect it. And even Q-Mills on this 1v1 against JTB was using that freeze with the balloon. Similar strategy on these 2v2.
Okay,
Lava Hound.
Yep, Lava Hound. The Golem in the Dark Knight.
Yeah, P.E.K.K.A.
Oh, P.E.K.K.A.
That's what we've been expecting from Chaos Theory. They use a lot more P.E.K.K.A. than the other teams on 2v2.
Right, okay, Electro Wizard coming down. A nice fireball coming, taking the Electro Wizard down. The Lava Hound will not really do any damage here. The P.E.K.K.A. trying to do some work on these Golems.
Gets nice chops down, but the Inferno Dragon locks onto the P.E.K.K.A. now. Real challenge there. Chaos Theory, their own balloon bot has the Tombstone to delay it so much. How? The freeze has to be used as a defensive
freeze. Yeah, wow.
The real damage comes in from the miner, getting a good 500.
Yeah, the miner really getting some value there, but still about a 700, 800 difference between the hit points. Yeah,
double the lead, double fireball to get that damage to the tower and the Inferno Dragon together, making sure their Golem goes straight in slow.
That P.E.K.K.A. took a lot of damage there before it could even get to the Golems. They got to put something down. Okay, the Electro Wizard, here comes the balloon again. They're trying one more time with this balloon, but again, the Graveyard and the Mega Minion freeze as well.
Just in time, and all they need is one more damage, about 100, and there's a rage from the balloon, single damage.
Yep, Fireball surely to follow this up.
Trying to do the damage, Fireball, 201. And one more Fireball will finish. More than enough damage, that's the style point, and they will bring it back, tying us up with 1-2-1.
Yeah, a really nice push there at the beginning with that Rage, Balloon, I think it was Mega Minion was in there as well, combo. And that is so hard to defend because that Balloon gets going so fast, and once it hits, it does so much damage.
Yep. OG Entus did not bring the rocket, but making sure their fireball gets the value, hitting tower and more.
Yeah.
Inferno Dragon was the target when they had their own golem to push at the same time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, there were some really impressive fireballs that were hitting a lot of units, and that first freeze as well
Oh yes.
was so brutal. It caught so many units inside of it.
And Balloon getting a hit onto the tower, and also the explosion right after the freeze was over.
Yeah, that's very true. That's a really interesting combo. Anything that has an explosion and frost, because you can use it kind of like a reverse tornado, right? Sometimes you'll tornado units into those bombs, but this is like you freeze units so they're stuck on that bomb so they can't get away from it.
And they were ready for the Balloon against it. They had the Tombstone all the time to drag its way all the way to the center, and by that time, Blue went down.
Yeah, yeah. The Korean teams really love Graveyard. They're always throwing that thing down, and it's very effective for them. Obviously, they've won 2 matches today, and if they win this match here,
It will be 6-0 day number 2, including day number 1. Oh,
this is big.
yeah, Southeast Asia so far having a very, very tough time for sure.
Could be game, set, match for Chaos Theory here. They're 1 win away from being knocked out, and essentially being knocked out from contention in this tournament.
Tombstone, of course, not the highest hit points, only 422. So a single drop from the Balloon goes down, but enough time to drag it to the side, and
Right.
then it has to make another travel to the tower after that.
And by that time, if the balloon is naked, meaning there's nothing else to cover it, then the Princess Tower will kill it before it can
Oh
get
yes. Another barrel, maybe the same one from game 1.
there. Okay. A little bit of damage there. Okay. The Princess, Dark Goblin. Oh,
Oh,
they're going to let
straight
that
in?
go. That Dark Goblin does a little bit of damage. It's
Oh,
not
yes.
a lot, but it's...
The attack speed is so quick.
Okay.
A Valkyrie, way of defending against the goblins.
Yep.
And the Dark Prince.
That Valkyrie has so many hit points. Nice log there to knock out the Dark Goblin.
So they're doing some chip damage to both towers. Another
Ooh.
Dark Goblin, ooh.
There's the
Scratching its
Golem.
way.
This is the first time we've seen Chaos Theory play the Golem today in 2v2.
Making sure they build up correctly. The Inferno Dragon is ready.
Do they have an Electro Wizard here to counter this? Oh, 2. Yep, there's 1, but that's not going to be enough. There are 2 Inferno Dragons here. Fireball coming down.
Making sure that the Electro Wizard cannot reset the damage of the lasers.
Ooh. Okay, but
Gold
getting
Mites
decent
will do
damage.
some damage, but not enough. And look at that. 1 barrel. Ice Spirit plus the Fireball,
Oh,
that's
here comes
5.
the second barrel. The follow-up. They have to
Another
use a Fireball.
So that's 6 Elixir already lost in the
Oh,
trade.
man, and they had a Inferno Dragon on there a little bit as well.
But desperate times calls for desperate measures. You just have to use the spell. If you
Yep.
only have a zap, it doesn't really kill the goblins.
Right.
And look at that. Getting the shields up and damaging the tower as well.
Yeah, they're just dropping those Dark Goblins for tower damage. Oh, a nice log, though. You get some good value out of that
A
log.
better Dark Goblin will be off to the right side because the Princess was right behind it.
Right. Inferno Dragon to take out a Princess seems a little excessive.
Very excessive, yes. Only one more elixir.
I mean, I know Princesses are special.
But this double golem, this seems very gigantic.
Wow.
Ooh, Dark Goblin getting caught by the log.
Yeah, a great log there to catch the Dark Goblin, remove the shield from
Electro
the Dark
Wizard
Knight.
actually zapped us too, so the screen, Fireball, and Golems continuing some damage onto the tower.
Yeah, they're getting some really good damage here from this
Down
push.
to 3 digits. Even the Gold Mite's doing some explosive damage.
Oh my gosh, nice push there. But the Goblin Barrel going down, good log. Second Goblin Barrel coming. Do they have an answer? Fireball. So a little bit of, it's an equal elixir trade there. Well, this
Down
is
to
close.
5-12 though.
Okay, if OG and Entis has a couple spells here, they can get close to taking down that tower. Same thing goes for Chaos Theory.
Another Fireball, and 2 Fireballs. And
Oh, here comes
another
the rocket!
And that's more than enough to take him down. OG and Entis will have the match secured for themselves, and Chaos Theory will be recording another loss in this match. So far, Korea having 6-0. Look at that ceremony. Easy.
Easy game, easy life. That's what they like to say.
Oh yes, that's the meme for the lots of Korean competitive players. And look at that, Korean team 6-0.
6-0.
They are
Woo.
they're climbing up super high.
Yeah.
Trying to catch the Japanese teams up on the standings.
Yeah, some really impressive performances by them. I mean, sweeping back-to-back days.
Oh yes.
Whoa. And really awesome stuff.
Southeast Asia, they have been really suffering from the 2v2s, especially Chaos Theory. They had the first win in that 2v2. Really solid with the barrel play.
Yeah.
Even with the Magic Archer activating the King Tower, that was just not enough to defend against all the goblins.
Right, exactly. So this is, I believe, the first game here. No, this is the second game.
But that is the first
No,
game.
first
with
game.
the
There's that
Magic
Magic Archer. You're right. First
And
game.
We'll see that very soon. The angle.
So right here, look at this. It goes for that princess.
How dare you touch me with the magic arrow?
So we learned that, yes, the Magic Archer beats the princess, but
look at the damage here from
Yeah.
the goblins, and even getting the charge.
those guards, though, so strong against the Dark Knight.
It's the fireball, and they finished up with the zap, but this is the real push.
This was crazy.
And Inferno Dragon even got hit by the fireball, and
then that freeze gets all the bats, too. Look at that. They even catch that little one on the edge. Really nice freeze there.
Perfect placement of the freeze. Just beautiful play. And then they just continued with their push right after, doing some more damage over time.
Right, they just kept changing it up. They'd go from Golem to Balloon.
Yeah, this balloon play, when there's a tombstone, it is not going to be as effective.
Yep. And here they go. Same thing. Mega Minion, Balloon. Even though the Balloon doesn't get there this time.
But fireballs, and even catching the explosion from the balloon.
Yep. Very nicely done.
Third game. Chaos Theory, they had some massive push with these golems.
And this was scary, and this almost worked. That did a ton of damage. You can see it was down to 532. 3 digits. In fact, a fireball comes, they're down to 311.
But OG and Entus, they were hiding a rocket this entire time. That's GG.
好的，我是今天赛后主持人 KH，我们马上要来采访的是
get to
今
hear
天获
from
胜的
OG and
队
Entus
伍
the
那现在
interview.
也来问一下，就是一样是恭喜他们，OGN是赢下了这场的比赛。
경기 승리하신 건 축하드립니다.
Congrats on your win.
오늘 경기에 대한 소감 말씀 부탁드릴게요.
对的，那接下来想要问的是，你们在赛前要对上 Chaos Theory 有没有一些特别的准备呢？还是以平常心来做对决？
Chaos Theory 그 대한 건 뭐 특별한 준비를 하셨나요?
Did you make any special prep against Chaos Theory?
상대방 팀.
일단은 독마법을 밴을 하고 저희가
Make sure we ban
원하는
poison.
그 판을 짠 다음에 거기에 맞는 덱을 구성해서
And we
그것만 열심히
understood what
했습니다.
could come
就是
around,
我们
and that's how
想
we kind
好
of，
我
prepared.
们有稍微预想一下对方的
We were
牌
ready
组
for，that
然后
with our own
完
poison
整的
ban.
就是组了我们的牌组之后，所以赢了这场胜利。
好的，那另外一个问题想问一下，你们赛后赢下来之后的感想是什么？尤其是拿到了这场胜场，也是让你们的排名可以更稳在一个比较偏向前段的位置。
그리고 오늘 승리에 대한 소감 말씀 부탁드릴게요. 왜냐면 오늘 승리하면 랭킹 좀 더 올라갔잖아요.
Because you'll be higher up on the standings with the win
일단
today.
우리 마지막 경기였는데 승리를 해서 너무 기분 좋고요.
It does feel really
승리가
great to
어떻게
win
될지
our final game.
모르겠지만 좋은 마무리였다고 생각을 하고
I don't know what the result
남은
is
한국
going to be,
팀들도 잘
but I
해줬으면
think this
좋겠습니다.
was a really nice
因为这是我
final
们
match
最
that
后
we
一场
had.
比赛，然后可以在最后一场比赛得到胜利，我们很开心。那不知道接下来会怎么样，但是我们会尽全力以赴，然后也希望韩国队就是可以大家一起加油。
对的，那另外想要问的就是，你们在这一次的一个比赛完之后呢，发现其实韩国队伍他们的目前的一个战绩来讲，相较于其他赛区，我觉得其实在前3名是更接近的。那你们对于自己的一个赛区的队伍的强度，有没有哪一个队伍是特别尊敬的？
지금 랭킹으로 봤을 때 한국 팀들이 되게 잘하잖아요. 그럼 지금 한국 지역에 대한 생각이 어떻는지 그리고 한국
By the
팀을
standings, Korean
좀
teams are
리스펙한
really
팀이
rising up
있는지
to the
말씀
standings.
부탁드립니다.
What do you think about your own region?
전체적으로 한국 팀 성적이 초반보다는 후반에 더 지고
Compared to the
있었고
first half, I think second half we're
한
doing a
팀을
lot better.
리스펙한다기보다는 한국 팀 전체가 리스펙을 받아야 되지 않나
I
생각합니다.
think Korean teams
那
deserve a
他
lot
们
more
韩国队
respect.
就是在前半段
from
的
the fans.
比赛没有那么表现没有那么突
Not
出，
just
但
a
是
specific
后来
team,
就
the
是
entire region.
有得到了蛮多的胜利。那比起说要说哪一队比较尊敬，他觉得其实所有的韩国的队都是应该要得到尊敬的。
好的，那一样是感谢他们。最后想问一下，就是在韩国在台湾这边，对，在台湾这边来到这边比赛还适应吗？就最近的这个礼拜。
대만에 와서 뭐 적응하나요? 대만에 처음 오신다고
Is this your
들었는데
first time in Taiwan?
괜찮으세요?
Are you getting adjusted to the
일단
environment?
다들 모든 선수들이 대만이 처음이었고요. 조금 식사나
This is the first
날씨
time.
문제에 걱정을 했는데 생각보다
We were kind of
괜찮아서
worried about the food and the
잘
weather, but
적응을 했고
it's actually quite
남은
alright.
팀들도
We're
잘
enjoying our
적응해서
time.
잘 마무리했으면 좋겠습니다.
他
And I
说
wish
就
we
是
just
我们
finish
的
up
队员
without
全
any
部都是
problems
第一
and
次
go
来
back
台
home
湾。
safely.
那本来以为
You ever
天
been to
气
Taiwan?
还有
No, not
食物
yet.
会有
Me
一些
neither.
不适应，
I wanna
不过
go.
全部
I
的
wish-
队员都适应的蛮好的。那希望其他韩国队的队员也就是可以很适
I do
应，然
understand
后
the weather is
把
really
最后的
hot
比
there
赛
and
好好的
humid.
结束。
That's the part I'm not thrilled
好的，
about.
那一样是
I
感
do
谢 OG
like
跟 Anders 的采访，以及恭喜他们获得了胜利。
그럼 오지엔 엔터스의 인터뷰 감사드립니다.
Oh,
그리고
thanks for the
승리 다시 한번 축하드립니다.
And congrats once
감사합니다.
again for your final match, which means we have the latest update from the production, and with that, with the win from Kingzone, they will actually secure the first place,
Oh wow.
going straight to the postseason. And that's even if Sandbox brings a win tomorrow, they by the head-to-head rule because Kingzone Dragon X defeated Sandbox when they fought against each other in their own region. Because of the head-to-head, they will be advancing as the first place.
Well, great.
That's
Congratulations
great
to them.
news for them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And some clutch play from Expo Master
Oh yes.
against that new star who made a splash today, Lampo. What a fun series that was.
That
Woo.
was one of the best series that we had the entire season. I mean, that match number 2, probably very nicely done. And OG and Entus, congrats to them for securing, because if they lost, they had close to no chance of going to the second place for the region. But now they do with the win now. Get
Right.
that all blue once again.
Once again, all blue. Korea sweeps it again. None of the teams going down without a fight. They all had some really close games today. Especially Kicks, I thought played really, really well today.
Because Sandbox right now with 6-4, and OG and Entus with the wins today with 6-5. So if Sandbox loses tomorrow,
Right.
then we'll have to go with the numbers how the tiebreak goes.
Right.
Look at that, 4th and 5th place.
Wow, so Kingzone in contention for that very top spot now if Game With falters in a couple games.
Oh yeah.
So they have a chance. They have a chance there to overtake those Japanese teams. Pono Sports as well.
Already secured. So first, but it all comes down to Sandbox. If they win, of course they will be the second place from Korea, and pretty high in the standings as well. So they will likely to play the wild card match. But OG and Entus, they also stand a chance. I don't know the exact numbers of all the games and all that. So we may have to break it down to all the sets, all the games, even the crown counts. Who knows?
Right. What two teams play tomorrow from Korea?
Oh, we'll get to see very soon after these. few
Okay, good. They're
pages.
going to answer my question for me.
Yes.
Yay, good.
Because I'm not a computer paper thin.
You lied
I
to
like
me.
you.
What?
Whoa. Chaos Theory.
Was that
As sad as it is, Kicks, of course, as well, dropping down to the bottom of the standings. They have Chaos Theory 2-7, and they have no chance of making it to the postseason.
Yeah.
Maybe the same for Kicks. I do not have the exact numbers. I will have that tomorrow for you guys, though.
Yeah, not sure. But Kicks gave it a fight today. I mean, they went 4-4. Right? They went 4-4 against Kingzone. So clearly they're a strong team now, especially with Lampo, who had 3 of their wins for them.
Oh yeah, Paperton, there's your answer. OPGG Skeleton versus Branny Sports. And Sandbox against AHQ. Lost against OPGG Skeleton 2-0 today. And Sandbox, they are on a rise, and AHQ, they are dropping down a little bit, taking a step down from their trend, I would say. They have been climbing up a little bit better. And Sandbox is a team that cannot be stopped. I believe they're having 6 wins in a row.
Oh wow.
Yes, they started with a 0-3, and surprisingly, not really surprising, they were really good on paper. They really just needed to get the teamwork down.
Yeah.
And finally they're getting that, and maybe they will show it again tomorrow.
Right. And the SEA region, they seem to be falter, not just against Korea, but all the other regions. They seem to struggle a little bit. And like you talked about, they're having trouble with that 2v2. So that's what they need to work on, need to focus on, see if they can get that together. I mean, they have some strong 1v1 players. We saw them
yes.
today, JTV, Lampo doing very well. Jacquet, very good in his own right as
It
well.
seems like Southeast Asia was doing a lot better at the beginning, but having a little bit of trouble towards the end. Korea, it's the last weekend for them. Southeast Asia actually has one more weekend. But for tonight, for us, with me, with G-Clef and Paper Thin, it's going to be it for us. We will have 2 more matches coming up right at 7 p.m. KST tomorrow. We'll see you soon.